Welcome back to the Riyadh Masters. Here we are in the deciding match stage of the play-ins, and we've got the Eastern European Derby coming up. 9Pandas against Virtus.pro to decide who goes on and who goes home, Wagga.
Yeah, and you and I, we have cast these together before. I mean, this is 9Pandas VP. It's an exciting showdown here. These guys know each other extremely well, rivals from the same region. They fought in a DPC, and it can be tough to honestly say exactly what one would expect. If we go back a few months, people would probably easily say 9Pandas should take it easily. Then VP have had moments where they looked, on par or even stronger. Now, though, in this tournament, I mean, 9Pandas have busted out some interesting stuff. They did the Kiyotaka mid Rubik. They're coming in with some confidence here, playing some exciting stuff. So I wonder what they're going to bring to the table draft-wise and how they're going to prepare against VP, if they have any special tricks or tips, for each other here, how to break them down.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of footage to watch back on these two teams. I mean, VP have been one of these squads that's like taking games off of VP and Spirit and Bet Boom and kind of slowly improving and honing their trade, looking better and better with every season. And when you've got a captain like FNG backing up the boys and the star power of Squadix and Kiratit, they're going to be able to pull something out of the bag. I still, expect 9Pandas to win this, but I think there's always that off chance that, a game one win for VP could snowball into a 2-0 or a 2-1.
Yeah, definitely could be. I mean, we did see that in the previous series somewhat, but still, I would say the danger here, of going into game one and doing something risky like pulling out the meeple. Maybe it's something that's ill-advised. You could catch your opponent off guard, but maybe we're going to see the teams just stick to their guns a little bit, try to do what they're strong at in the game one. And then if you're one game up, that's when I think it's the time to bust out one of those tricky heroes and force the opponent to play against it when they could be eliminated if they lose. And if it doesn't work, you can still fall back, do some regular stuff in the final game, I don't really know if I love the trick opening, let's say, in a best of three. I think I actually prefer teams to go somewhat safe in game one.
Okay. It's always that curious one. Do you want to throw the curveball game one? Do you want to just go standard? I guess we'll probably see the normal stuff. Enigma being banned out, get rid of the Broodmother. You got a bit of fancy stuff with the Tinker potentially. Alchemist might come out as well.
Yeah, there's also big priority, I think, at any game where Noticed is playing, like Beastmaster is going to be a high priority hero, I think, in this series as well. But yeah, we'll definitely have to see exactly what they prioritize with the first phase picks, because the bans, I probably agree with you there. We're probably going to see Broodmother removed. We're probably going to see, fairly standard opening, unless the teams have something completely else prepared, because that can also be a thing. When you know the other team that well, you can sometimes just completely change the meta and go against the grain with some of the ideas and, draft in a different way. You don't have to go for super strange heroes, like go for a Meepo or go for, some unorthodox stuff, but you can just change a little bit what you let through and what you don't.
Yeah, because it was quite recently, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, that VP added G to their roster of coaching staff. Of course, we've had No Fear on 9Pandas for quite some time, so it's really one of those super interesting situations where we've got some real old school players and coaches. No Fear and Solo going way back. The brain trust of VP with FNG and G. What have they cooked up? What have they got in store for us in terms of drafts? I think you're right. That could be one of these weird little, hey, if we get this lane matchup that's gonna give us the upper hand, give Squadix a good time against Kiyotaka, that could tip the scales a little bit. Honestly, I think, Ember Spirit, if we're talking about heroes that are going to be contested, probably one of the big ones for the mid lane for me.
Yeah, we could definitely see that. I think Ember is one of the sort of safer heroes on mid lane that people are still enjoying. Could also see them go for, something that's been trending a lot lately, the Snapfire mid. You pick it in the first phase, you can throw it towards mid, or you can put it on towards the off lane if you want. Gives you a little bit of flex potential, which is valuable as well. But yeah, we're heading into the draft, and we'll see exactly what these two teams are going to be prioritizing here as the ban phase is going to begin.
Yeah, I mean, this FNG and Solo with the little crowns, this could be any time in the past 10 years. They've been around the block a long old while. But yeah, we'll see what's in store for us as we do get the first round of bans coming in and find out what this priority is, what we're going to get in the first pick. And we could just see the stock standard, these Undyings and Rubiks getting picked up early. But we could see, the Kotl Ember, TB flopping into that first phase of drafts.
Yeah, and I mean the Wisp Leshrac being the meta as well that's evolving here, but that's a possibility. Broodmother being banned out, Snapfire in return. Rubik gets banned out against 9Pandas, who did run that mid Rubik like I mentioned, so not letting that be in the pool. And now we'll see what they want to do as an opening here for VP. The thing is, if you pick IO here, then you just kind of get the IO and then you wait and you get a combo. It's a little bit awkward. Usually IO picked more as a second pick. So the IO Leshrac thing, more likely at 9Pandas or in a spot to take it here if they want.
Yeah, that Rubik's a funny one, right? It's like you hammer home this situation where, 5 out of the last 6 games, 9Pandas have played Rubik. 4 of them were support, 1 of them was core. It's like, oh, we don't want to give them this flexibility. Get rid of it. Storm Skywrath Mage for 9Pandas to start things off.
This is a very comfort zone for 9Pandas. Getting the Skywrath, they're one of the teams who just love playing Sky. We might see some Basher Skywrath action. Some stuff like that. Always good, very, very good on that hero, I hear. Or at least so I've seen.
We've seen, yeah. He won the game with those items in his inventory. That's what counts.
Professional bash, first hit he did after buying Basher. He bashed.
Yep, good stuff.
Didn't buy it not to bash 10% of the time.
That's interesting. Undying first. Quite often we see that ranged Angie carry to go into the lane with him, but it looks like Tiny here going to be the lane matchup against the Storm.
Yeah, probably. It's a good reaction to Skywrath and Storm, because even though the lane isn't fantastic against Storm, it's still fine for Tiny, and it's a good hero against Skywrath, since bursting Tiny is pretty difficult to do, and once you get a few items, Tiny's physical damage can destroy Sky, but even before then, if you just have Blink, jumping a Sky, usually an easy kill. So I like this pickup here by VP, and it doesn't reveal too much what they're doing themselves, and kind of capitalizes on the fact that Storm was revealed. They can pick up the Tiny.
Or even banning out the Beastmaster themselves. Something you pointed out there, noticed was being pretty spectacular on. Yeah,
Mira as well. Both the offlaners here are very, very happy playing this hero, and we'll see what's going to be available on the offlane here as we see the combination, Skywrath plus something. So Beastmaster being banned out is because he's a long-range nuky hero. Maybe they will ban more of those heroes on the offlane who could harass a lot with spell damage, because usually Sky on his own doing some damage is fine, but Sky combined with something else is when it really takes off.
Oh, who's another big boy that I've not seen in a couple of days? Spirit Breaker, a hero both of these teams were utilizing very well through the DPC tour. He's kind of fallen off a little bit, though.
He really has, yeah. Spirit Breaker, he isn't as popular anymore. We used to see him all the time, but now he's just not picked. He wasn't even banned in the E patch, but he was still played in D, and then he's just not touched that much anymore. A little bit surprising to me.
Yeah, felt so good. Getting on top of people, setting up for some chaotic team fights, but we'll see later down the line if he comes out.
Yeah, they ban out more of the Zoo here on the side of VP, so getting rid of the Lycan, similar role as the Beastmaster, very similar gameplay. Don't want to put up and deal with that. Getting overrun is one of the worst feelings when you're playing Undying. You don't want to have a big Zoo who can take down your Tombstone quickly and just push. So, yeah, just getting rid of some of that. Might even get rid of Visage next. Possibly a hero that could be problematic. Does the same thing as the 2 previous heroes they banned out.
Yeah, and Undying wants to kind of... He wants to lane, right? Undying's a laning hero. He doesn't want laning station breakdown, doesn't want towers to fall. He wants to be ready to jump into action at any given moment. The Zoo heroes breaking down towers and opening up the map, cause him a few problems.
Yeah.
Drow Ranger, usually one of these partners with Undying as well. Ranged Angie carry.
Okay, so they throw it the other way, though. They say, okay, you know what? Skywrath plus Void, very strong 1-2 combo. Let's respect that a little bit. Don't want to have the whole Chronosphere into Sky ulti bursting anyone all the time. So that leaves the Visage in, but maybe they're more fine playing up against that. If they go for some illusion hero, that usually would pair pretty well against Sky and Sky Storm and a Visage, for instance. So maybe they have plans for going for something like a Naga.
Oh, Medusa out. Took a little bit of time there, 9Pandas, figuring out what they wanted to remove. There's so many options out there. Can be a little tricky. I'm a little upset we'll have no Ember Spirit this game, though. Unless this Tiny decides to change tact and goes like pos 4 or something.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Yeah, it's most likely not going to be an Ember. Tiny kind of locked in that position probably, unless you want to play the Undying and Tiny combination support, but it's a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
But we'll see exactly what they want to grab up. They haven't really shown anything for the off lane yet on VP, and the same thing, 9Pandas, their safe lane. We still have no clue what they want to run there, other than Faceless Void being banned out and not being available. Same as, of course, Drow and Medusa not being heroes that they were interested in.
Yeah, and with the prevalence of this IO Lesh, I don't remember VP or 9Pandas during DPC play really grabbing or gravitating towards these heroes. Like, I know VP can play IO, as can 9Pandas, but that in particular combo of IO Lesh has kind of been untouched by Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but it hasn't been that popular, like, not massively popular until I feel here at Riyadh has sort of grown in popularity again. It seems the players are like really going for it first phase even, instead of picking it in, second phase of the pick bands. So maybe they're going to change their approach as the tournament evolves, who knows? But for now...
It's like Gaming Gladiators win 4 tournaments in a row, and oh wait, hang on a second, ILS is pretty strong. Everyone catches onto it.
Yeah, back to the Chen, another hero that's been very, very dominant overall, had very good success, and gives them a little bit of beef to send in at the towers here, something to frontline, and also a way to try and save people when they get jumped by Tiny. Chen could be there with a heal, can suddenly save a Storm, keep him alive.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe a nice support to snag here.
Yeah, it gives you that kind of bit of ghost push, so you're not showing anyone to a Tiny. Pushing out waves always feels very good for your Storm Spirit, who then has more angles of attack and can pick his targets a little easier.
Yeah, it's
just so wild how like small things in Dota kind of compound. And it's like, oh, I pushed a wave. Congrats, you pushed a wave. But then you think about it, hang on a second, I pushed this wave, which means we've got more vision, we've got more map space. Now we can actually be aggressive.
Yeah, Dota is a game where every little advantage propagates. That's why you see, like a pro level carry is always going to be so much more efficient than lower level players. And it's not that they do like something extremely much better. It's that they do a lot of things all the time better, and it just pushes you forward. Same thing in the draft and in the grand scheme of things in these tournaments. Every little thing counts.
It's honestly insane. Like I remember playing like with Blitz and Cap. I played a couple of the Veggies Esports games. And we had, like, I was playing Gyro Carry or something, and we had a team talk at the end, and Blitz just goes, like you see now, right, how quick everything happens. I was like, completely lost in the game. My BKB was delayed, I wasn't ready, it's just this understanding of everything is legitimately much faster. I think even the Jabs, the Liquid coach, when he had to stand in for their tournament at Lima, even he said, compared to, 8K, 9K MMR pubs, playing on a pro level is legit 20 times faster.
Yeah, it's very tempo-based, yeah. I mean, that's the big difference between high-level pubs and competitive is just the tempo and timings get hit much harder. Pro players exaggerate the advantage they have. They exaggerate it even more. Like, if you have a 5% advantage over your opponent, then your opponent can't fight you right now because you are a little bit stronger, so they don't want to take that fight. So that means you just drive it home, keep going, force the issue. Anyway, they're going to go for the Caudle and Doom here. I like the combination of having Caudle together with Tiny. Tiny has a little bit of mana issues and gives them a little bit more burst, long range as well. And Doom being picked up. We haven't seen it too much, but Doom is a really nice hero still to have against the Storm. Even if you can't grab him immediately, it can be hard to get the Doom cast on him. Come late game, you get that Aghanims on Doom, and you got to be real careful on Storm not to jump in the wrong spot. You just get locked in place.
Yeah, munching on the Chen creeps all the way home. Terrorblade for 9Pandas. That's going to be your Ramses hero. TB Chen lane should be pretty solid for them.
Yeah, it's the lane that we saw before as well. We see sort of a repeat here from what Beast Coast were doing, and it's a powerful lane, definitely very potent. You have the extra attack speed from the Chen Q, and then Metamorphosis hitting into it. It's been popular lately, and Terrorblade, definitely a hard carry that can be depended on, right? And right now, VP don't have the best tools against him. They have some stuff, of course, like dooming any hero is always a good solution, but they don't have the best magical burst. Tiny does a certain amount, but not enough to really kill. TB doesn't have the sustainable burst. So they need some form of magic damage, I feel still. Maybe a carry hero who can go for a Maelstrom Mjolnir type build.
There's something to clear them out. 9Pandas still need their offlaner. We're still looking at this Tiny as a mid hero, right? We're not going to have some like Kotl mid or anything like that.
No, I mean, curveballs could be thrown, but I still really think it's Tiny mid. Yeah, definitely. I don't see a big reason to not put the Tiny mid. Let's say you don't want to have a Tiny Doom lane or something. It's going to be disgustingly bad against Chen and TB. It's going to be rough. So okay, then themselves ban out the Underlord. Don't want to have to put up with that. That kind of signals they want to pick some Illusion hero. It's going to be a Naga last picking ban here. There's no way they don't ban Naga. This ban is Naga.
Guaranteed. The Waga guarantee right there.
Naga, I'm telling you, dude. Ban Naga, or it's going to be a pick coming out from VP for sure.
5 seconds.
I still keep going back to this, but like Morphling against TB is still pretty decent, right? Even with the nerfs to like Aghanim Scepter and stuff.
It's alright, but it's terrible against Storm and Sky. It's kind of the same thing again. Like, burst heroes are so good against Morph. It's good against TB though. That part I agree.
There we go. The Waga guarantee in action.
That was the easiest call though ever. It is almost cheating. When they're picking TB and they're banning out PL, then you know the next ban is Naga. Honestly, I'm surprised that they banned PL first, because Naga is honestly even worse.
But it's like you're dangling it in front of them, right? 9Pandas are like, we'll leave Naga till the end, give them a glimmer of hope. Maybe they'll forget to ban it, and then you slam the door shut on them.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. We'll see. Okay, so they go for the Morphling. It is, again, like we said here, we can expand on it a bit. It's going to be nice that you can turn into the TB, definitely. That's something that they have, but you now have to deal so much with the fact that you don't have vision advantage on VP. You don't have like some random hawks or whatever to keep your Morphling safe. You don't have a bounty hunter sneaking around protecting him from ganks. So this is very important how you play your positioning in this game. They get to pick a hero into it as well. Axe Skylane against the Morphling.
Oh, man. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for VP.
I mean, Kirtik has to pull out some big plays here, I gotta say. Noticed he has that guitar on Doom, though. That might swing me over. Maybe VP got this.
Yeah, he's going to shred the axe against Miro's axe.
Yeah. Shred them to pieces here. And we'll see. 9Pandas, I think... I like their approach a little bit more in this game. Even though first pick Storm is something I always feel so awkward, because it should be pretty hard countered all along the way. It actually isn't countered by too many other things here, right? Undying doesn't have any disable. Kotl doesn't have any real disable. So both the supports don't have a way to stop Storm. So if Storm jumps to backline, they just gotta run and bail, or hope that a carry comes and like a core hero comes to save them.
Tiny, please.
Yeah, it's like, please Doom him, or please Tiny, get him. A lot of pressure here on Noticed and how he performs on his Doom, if he can shut down Kiyotaka or not, because otherwise I can see the Storm Spirit just taking over the game, which I don't really want to say that after a first pick Storm, but matter of fact, he's not that hard countered by the picks here.
So is this then a situation where VP need to be victorious in like 2 of their 3 lanes? Because like looking at this, it feels like it's a kind of a straightforward draft. The identity of 9Pandas just feels like it's their signature draft and theirs to play.
They don't have to be victorious, like win 2 lanes big, but they need to get a lot of stuff done in the post-laning stage, right? In the immediate transition out of laning stage, they need to be the ones to make a lot of moves around Tiny. They need to find kills, get that Blink Dagger nice and early on Tiny so he can keep feeding on the enemy supports. Otherwise, if you lose control over the runes, basically, for not making effective ganks, Storm gets, some DD rune, Regen rune, Arcane rune. The thing is, there are too many runes that make Storm strong. That's why he's so rune dependent. Oh, run into each other here. FNG breaks the smoke.
See Solo and Antares.
Yeah.
I'll walk back up into their northern jungle. A couple of wards placed down by VP. Mid lane and up towards their own Ancients area as well. And they're seeing the Scarth Mage come across.
Yeah. Checking for the ward with a tower hit, and they're going to get the D ward. That's
very nice.
A cheeky one. You can do the same thing on the Radiant bottom part of the map, actually. You can check it as well. I feel like that's a bit of a dire advantage that you don't really see for Radiant as well. Because if Radiant try and D-ward, there's not really the similar spots check on the side lanes.
Yeah.
But both top and bottom, there are cliff wards that Radiant kind of might enjoy that can be D-warded by that.
That's a good point, yeah. Slight dire advantage in the warding game.
I mean, it's pretty high level to be checking that to begin with, but yeah. at least at that level. Oh, Ramses.
Oh man, surrounded. Blood grenade thrown on him,
dead.
and Ramses is dead. First blood for Squadix as well. Now that could be a game changer.
That really could. That's going to ramp up his early game here, get him towards the earlier bottle here, because he was buying out a lot of items actually against the Storm, so wasn't going to have a very easy bottle for 2 minutes. But now 360 gold after that first blood, going to be very happy.
All right, going up against Kiyotaka in that mid lane.
Full magic stick as well already, so that's the comfort of the first blood. Otherwise, he would have to save for the bottle as well.
Well, I'll see what he can get done, Squadix. For now, just trading hits, trading last hits. This side of things is probably going to be more enjoyable to watch. Noticed and Sayers up top, this Doom and Kotl. And trying to battle back against this sustain lane. Sol and Ramses got plenty of regen. And of course, Chen, once he starts bringing his creeps, a bit of a barrier for the TB to protect him. I mean, Doom with his Scorched Earth builds, you know, we've talked about this before. The 0-2-1 build can put a lot of damage on people.
It really can, yeah. 0-2-1 is a good way to try and punish the Terrorblade as well, and not greed up too early. Bottom lane, I'm just enjoying watching how they're fighting here. Blood Grenade comes out, but immediate slow from the Skywrath. Undying does not like going into Sky. It's a pretty rough matchup. That's why they counterpick this first pick Undying with the Skywrath as well. So it's tough for him to trade. He can't really close the distance and get as many auto attacks as he wants.
I mean, Notice and Sayers up top getting bullied back, just a reflection and a penitence. Ramses with that Metamorphosis dishing out some serious damage. Looks like he should be able to deny back these creeps as well and hold that creep wave closer to his tier 1. And Torres going for a bit of a wander. 2 minutes about to hit, so he blocks up the small cap yet again. Make sure FNG doesn't have easy access to any pulls. And then that leaves Miero in a straight 1v1 against Kiratik.
Yeah, Notice gonna skill up his Q so he can eat the creep. Actually eats the little purge creep of Chen.
I guess that makes sense against the Chen. You want that Devour. Remove some of his efficacy in this lane. Solo will get the pull off though. There's a courier snipe down bottom. Takes out FNG's courier, but Ramses, while the pull is happening, dies.
Yeah, that's a big takedown actually. Managing to get the Terrorblade down and all these creeps on the tower as well here. Solo tries to pull the creeps down and connects, but still costly death.
Yeah, I mean, 2 deaths for Ramses already. But we've... honestly, any other player, I would say that's like pretty disastrous. It's going to be bad for their mental game. But Ramses is like the one player where he'll go 0-4. Like, we've legit seen this in Tour 3 DPC. He went 0-4 in lane, I think as a TB, and then came back and just went like 15-4. Like, crushed the game.
Yeah,
He gets activated by rage.
He definitely, you know, can activate, but it can also backfire the other way around. It's very volatile, that, Gareth. The rage is a fickle mistress. It can...
You can't control it.
Yeah, it can work. It can also backfire, you know. You might see him running in some aggressive positions, but he'll definitely try and make up the difference here for dying twice. Miero going low here, but trying to sustain, but he's just gonna go down to auto attacks. 20 strength stolen on this Undying. Punches him to death, and he has no item in his inventory on Undying. Going back to base, he ate everything.
Consuming the world, consuming the axe. I mean, Axe did get a courier snipe, which took out the gloves of haste of the Morphling, and I think a wand recipe, but and that glyph on the creep wave made sure he couldn't clear the entire thing out.
Yeah. Just looking at the Undying, like, you killed the axe, what did it cost you? Everything.
And Ramses buys up some boots so he can try and slip away from Noticed. Does turn with a Metamorphosis. We'll chip away at them. At least give him some breathing room here as the TB.
Yeah, big denies as well, immediately after here, getting a lot, and the heal spam is really big. Look at TB getting these heals from the Heal Turbo Priest. Very effective, since TB has super good armor, so that heal creep has to go. He takes it for himself instead.
Which heal creep?
Yeah, it's gone now.
It's gone! Oh, poor Chen. Having his little buddies devoured. Notice gonna run at Ramses a little bit with this level 2 Scorched Earth, purging away. Getting the Chakra Magic placed on him as well. Blinding Light gonna push Ramses around. No real, absolute kill threat. It's just irritating the TB at this moment.
Very interesting to go for 0 points in the queue by level 3 on Sayur in this lane, but yeah, it's you know, gonna give a lot of mana here to the Doom. Give yourself the chain purge, but they are missing Illuminate damage.
Oh, no, bottom Miero again getting gone on. Tries to turn and fight, but that Morphling just waveformed over the top of him. FNG wanted the high five, but he'll get nothing.
Not safely getting to the Vanguard here feels really bad. This is the last pick into the Morphling. You wanted to play this lane, and now you are being punished for it. Morphling 32 and 15. I was thinking how this lane goes. They picked it, so I was like, okay, they have to be confident. It's gonna be great after the laning stage is over, but during the lane, with the Undying being there, this Axe is not having a great time.
The creeps playing against the Morphling, tornadoing and hurricaning him. Yeah, there's the Vanguard for the Doom. Miero's Axe still a couple of 100 gold away from it. We can keep our eyes on that mid lane now as we do get a move in from SquadX and Seosh. Kiyotaka is still level 5, getting blocked by his own creeps, and the Blinding Light will push him down away from the Tiny. But in comes FNG. The captain is here to secure it up, and a haste rune for SquadX's efforts.
Oh, that's the perfect rune for Tiny. A 6-minute haste rune, someone will die to this. There's no way. And Axe is a perfect target. If they get Axe again, he would be so sad. Maybe he sticks around mid with SquadX though, but delaying that Vanguard even further would absolutely destroy Axe.
Well, it goes on Antares, tossing back into Seosh and FNG. All gathering their forces in the mid lane here, VP. Blood grenade thrown, the tree thrown. What else? Throw some horses at him as well, yeah! Take him down.
Some kitchen sinks, yeah.
Oh, this is the big combo, right? Shaka into Tiny.
Yeah, very nice. And get that mana back, you know, get the cooldowns low. He's gonna go in and steal here. Oh, a little bit of theft. Okay.
Some pilfering.
Yeah, definitely. Ransacking, you might even say.
Highway robbery.
I like it, man. And Undying is going to be the one to collect all the money for it as well. He's going to make up for the gold he spent on consumables.
SquadX going under tower.
SquadX. That's not your base, man.
Interesting position. We'll toss back the Axe and try the TP out. Should be successful.
Okay. I mean, he created space so FNG may farm. This is selfless play by a mid player, honestly. Underappreciated how selfless mid players are. He definitely didn't just want the Wisdom Rune.
Well, for top lane, what's going on there? Noticed. Being chased down by another Metamorphosis. A solo with a Hill Troll Berserker now. Bit of break there.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about how this Morphling is farming so much. They do have a lot of farm in the TB as well, though, and he's going for a Midas Terrorblade. Ramsey's greed. If we saw Jim Park go for the rushed Scotty's, you know, less greedy play, going for game specific, this is the opposite approach. This is the I want all the money in the world build.
Guys, I died twice in lane, please.
Yeah,
let me get the Midas. Seosh picked off. Kiyotaka, which is lurking in that ancient spot. Running a little low on mana here. The Storm could get caught out by the Tiny. Oh, he's already spent his Avalanche, though. We'll toss the Storm across into FNG under the Tombstone. And noticed. And he's going to slow him down with a Purge. Just need to follow through with a bit more damage. The Avalanche will secure it. Nothing 9Pandas could do there to save the Storm. Trading him for the Kotl.
A bit of a bad trade, but at the same time, they're gonna be able to control the bottom rune here. So Dita rune at least won't go the way of Tiny. But yeah, losing your Storm, painful death for sure there. And that puts Tiny halfway to the blink, a little bit more. Sees 1200 gold.
Miero trying to farm some ancient stacks, but struggling a little bit. There's some big ones hitting him hard.
I mean, he's been struggling all game, dude. It's having Vanguard only. Like, if you had Face Boots or something, it doesn't hurt that bad. But he dies here, dude.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So does the Kotl. Ancients are killers.
Neutrals are winning this game. Wow. It's going great.
Kiyotaka's coming to try and steal the large camp, but SquadX and FNG, they're both here around him, ball lining back down to low ground, gets him away.
Yeah, he had vision, so looked like he was really close to dying, but he did know what he was doing somewhat there. At least with the Kotl dead, you know, there's not too many surprises as well. Could come his way. He's gonna back out, be completely fine.
It's definitely a very scrappy game. Like, Kiyotaka is just like looking around. What's going on, guys? There's people dying to neutrals. I'm just down here farming. I'll go on then, FNG. Blood Grenade and Tombstone. I'm not going to waveform over, just making sure Miero doesn't have a comfortable time in that lane anymore.
Miero is having absolutely no space here. He's trying to get some experience on lane, gets blood grenaded and tombstone for it. Top lane noticed is gonna be unnoticed. I was about to say he's gonna be undone here possibly. They're
Acorn
chasing him
shots.
down.
Acorn shots, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Throw it at him.
The Midas Terrorblade still strong in the fighting, of course, that attack speed. But bottom tower, meanwhile, going down to Morphling. Opening up the map a little bit for him.
Yeah, a bit of easier access into that Wisdom Rune area. Into
A lot
the
of
ancients
stacking
as well.
this game, all over the place. Stacking for Tiny, stacking for the Storm, stacking for the Axe, which then got stolen for the Undying. And sometimes you just stack to have the neutrals kill you.
Yeah, just build up an army of enemies. What could possibly go wrong? Unnoticed. They're working on his own hand of Midas. Clear through some of these stacks himself on that left side of the map. And Tiny, this is the big ticket item. Blink Dagger purchased on the way. I'd love to see him go for a smoke play, maybe gather up with someone. But who's his partner this game? Usually we see Tiny kind of go with a buddy.
Yeah, I mean, he can still gank decently with just Caudle and Undying. It's not insane like some chain stun combo, but just having more heroes there when Tiny jumps someone, it's usually gonna be guaranteeing at least the one kill, and then possibly you can push a tower under a tombstone or something. So he's just going to move with both the supports, and that's what we see. Immediate smoke up with the double support. They scan out the smoke coming in from 9Pandas.
Ooh.
They're going into it.
Hello, Solo. Avalanche toss doesn't connect properly. Solo still half HP. Hand of God is there as Storm zips in. The Chen, he's going to fall eventually to Squad X Tiny. And Antares, the Squishy Scarab Mage, left all alone. A double kill for the Tiny in the end. And this, safeguards their Ancients at the same time.
This is exactly what I said they needed in this game. They needed to get immediate payout for the Blink for Tiny and get some gameplay around him. Bottom lane, dangerous call here. Going in on the Morphling. Is he going to try and turn? Not going to try to go for the kill over on the Axe. He is going to go and steal his Ancients, though.
Yeah, it's a level 10 Morphling with Morbid Mask. Yasha. He's stacked.
Here takes place with such confidence on his Morphling after his laning stage. He goes up and farms the enemy Ancients. This is a very active way of playing. He hasn't left, he hasn't gone top. He's just absolutely controlling the bottom part of the map, saying, if you want to kill me, you need to bring more heroes. You need Skywrath, you need Storm rotations. And if you do that, then you're going to lose mid or top.
Yeah, you need to bring your Blink Dagger Axe. Where is it, buddy? Hey? Arrow?
It's coming. Lost in the mail, yeah.
I'll get another couple of Ancients and stuff like that, and we'll get closer and closer to it. And then we can start to see these plays with the calls and domestic flares. Right now, 9Pandas just trying to spread out across the map, but this Invis Rune from Squadix catches a glimpse of Solo, who's waiting atop the high ground. When he was in a position to break smokes here, right? His goal was to spot aggressive moves coming, and he accomplished it.
Yeah, he did, position to do that. Sadly, his sentry ward that he had behind him was not in front of him. If that sentry ward was over in front, he could have seen, but of course, not going to be able to spot that rotation. Still, though, better him than TB dying, right?
Yeah.
You're there to shield the area so that Terrorblade can farm. That's why I was saying you're playing these heroes like Morphling or something against ganking heroes. Same with TB against the early ganks here. You want to have someone tank it.
Well, here is a potential gank. Morphling by the Twin Gate. Smoke breaks. They zip up and the waveform over. Bit of space here as he gets off the strength shift. And there's no touching him now, and the reinforcement's starting to arrive. Kiyotaka goes to the Twin Gate just before Squadix can get up to high ground. Hunter's not going to be so lucky, though.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have the luxury of survival. Will get taken out.
I thought he was going to be able to hide in the hiding spot. Top Storm, yeah. The Doom.
He's still doomed up and caught. You're right.
He
noticed.
Portaled through and got doomed.
He was ready and waiting. Now Miero slowed down. Purged up. The zombies are chasing him. Ramses with his TB coming in to try and fight, but he's low mana with no metamorphosis. Tries to reflect them back. Miero looks like with his Vanguard, he's tanking through the majority of that brunt of physical damage. But in the end, he'll get chased down by the Doom. And Solo's arriving. Ramsey's dead to Squadix with a tiny combo. Miero, he just can't move. He's a slug. Slowed down, salt poured on him. And Virtus.pro 14-2 with a 5k lead in the driving seat.
Yeah, definitely in tough position here. They're going in and trying to fight here on 9Pandas, though.
Yeah, catching out noticed. That's a decent juicy kill there. Solo, the one to grab it. Would have loved to have that on Kiyotaka, who does go back in again. Sayush, FNG, sticking around, trying to play with Squadix alongside his Tiny. Invis Mystic Flare there, I think. Trying to bring down a Kotl who gets tossed across. The Arcane Bolt following, but the raindrops pop. He's still alive. And now Scorix and FG, the two-man avalanche, three men, all caught up in it. The toss across and godlike Tiny kills Kiyotaka. Squadix having a cracker of a game.
Yeah, he's absolutely dominating.
Aggressively moving onto this Skywrath mage again. The toss on the FNG Undying sends him forward. He's going to need another hit and a decay, but Miero's here to hold him back. He'll get called up and Ramses comes in.
Thank you for flying Tiny Airlines. It was a nice attempt. The silence into the call there. Seeing the axe waddling in was the last thing that he wanted to see on Undying. No play that he can make anymore there, and he goes down. So a little bit of a nice recovery kill there for the axe, as he's having a still very terrible game. But he does have Blink Vanguard and working on a Blade Mail next, because otherwise he can't really do anything to Morphling.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen this kind of difference between cores and net worth. Axe and Storm sitting around 5 or 6k, and you've got this 9k tiny Morphling, and the Doom as well.
Squadix is just popping off this game. He's absolutely just crushing it. 10-0-1 at 15 minutes, 16 minutes now. Chasing after TB now. It's slowed.
Come here, buddy. Solar Bind on him, and there's the Avalanche Toss. This Kotl Tiny combo, not just the Chakra magic, but this ability to slow down and amp up the magic damage, burst through TB with no difficulties.
Clutch decay by FNG coming in and taking that kill as he was in the air. Oh, save on Morphling? Tombstone save.
Yeah, about this 9Pandas. Honestly, 16.5 minutes in, do you think about calling it?
That's a debated. Yeah, this is gonna go very, very quick downhill here. This guy's also not gonna get away, I think. Blink, toss back.
In comes Squadix. Oh, guesses incorrectly.
The pig pole saved his life there. This is looking very rough. You don't think about calling it, perhaps, but yeah, we got the 420 reverse here. It's rough, man.
I got a pipe on the Doom. Oh, that was just a lot rest.
Nice transition.
On this TV's shoulders. Goodness gracious me. I mean, there's no inch, centimeter, millimeter, nanometer. There's not a single atom of space for 9Pandas to come out on this map.
Yeah, it's super rough. And it's tough when you're playing Chen and you start dying and losing all your creeps. It takes so long to get your creeps back to get out on the field and be able to make plays. Now with that early shard as well and the Undying, the fact that he rushed it so hard there, making that debate play on Morphling mid, you're going to start second-guessing yourself. Can we actually blink call this guy? Can we jump this guy with Storm? The Undying is always going to be there in the back of your mind. Like, maybe he can save. It's going to make it rough here.
Especially when your Storm is so far behind and TB is jungling and Axe is jungling. The Chen is like stealing farm away from his cores, basically. But he needs to. He needs this army to function. Does get a D-ward up in that top jungle, but he's already been spotted by Squadix, who comes in. Miero with a call on the Tiny now. The damage overwhelming from the Radiant. Tiny still standing. The TB with the Meta, though, bursting through, and they get the kill on Squadix. Ramses finally comes in to get the job done. A double kill for your TB. Sayosh on the run. Doom out of there as well, but 9Pandas a big hold.
Look at the amount of money Ramses just got. Look at those kills. So much gold. That beyond godlike cashing in. The important part there, he blinked pretty deep for a Chen on Tiny, and he did think that, okay, I can always get saved by my Undying with the Tombstone. And it's true, but TB stood in between and immediately slammed down on that Undying. He did so much damage so quickly. Undying just got demolished by a Metamorphosis. Doom on Storm.
A good save out from Miero.
It's gonna be fine.
Kiyotaka alive for now. There's so much slow here from Noticed. Yeah, cracks the whip, puts the purge on them. He's going to get turned around by these Chen creeps. And Morphling from the high ground gets stuck up on top of the cliff, so Chen survives and pig poles away.
What are you doing up there? Manta style down, maybe? He's staying and keeping the Manta ready. Gonna wait from them. Squadix looking for a pick here. Ramses is kind of low, but he can't really burst it alone, I think. Can he?
Ooh,
oh, maybe he can.
Skadoosh!
Yeah,
takes him down.
It was close. His damage is actually so high. He has Shadow Blade as well as Echo Saber. Yeah, this Tiny is massive, and that kill puts TB back in a little bit of despair, even though he's leading the net worth. It's not by much, and look at all three cores being so strong.
Right. And Squadix just keeps on going. Just get tagged by the silence, and I think... no Mystic Flare this time.
Their wards are... Yeah, absurd.
Difficult to keep tabs on his Mystic Flare when it's invisible half the time.
Yeah, Valve. Maybe it's time to fix it. It's been a while.
It's just a hidden buff to the hero, you know?
You see this ward above the tier 2 tower mid? It's just barely outside of the sentry range on the cliff there. So this ward is giving absolutely crucial information, and that's why he keeps playing like this. These plays from Tiny.
I mean, has he overstepped here with a storm and then... No, never mind. Tiny, he's got 2,700 health with a glimmer on him. Can't be touched.
Yeah. 20 armor, glimmer magic resistance, and you're not bursting that. He's gonna be fine. That was without Undying even being there. If Undying is there, he has extra save. But Undying is finishing his 4-staff now, so working a little bit on getting more save than if he could actually have saved the Tiny. So realizing positioning is very crucial here. And it's going to be Roche, it looks like. Morph and Undying heading over. Tombstone and ulti from Undying. It'll be an easy Roche.
Straight in there. I'm just watching 9Pandas, and it's got to feel so rough when you have this Axe and Scarth Mage, and they're just babysitting the Terrorblade. I bet it was sitting next to Ramses, not making aggressive moves, not really being able to do much.
You know what could be big? If they manage to go top and check the Wisdom Rune here on 9Panda. I think 9Panda might realize that Roche is happening. If they go and check top Wisdom Rune, there are 2 runes there. Fermented runes. I mean, they need something, dude. They need something to come back into this, but it's gonna go to Undying. Double Wisdom Rune, level 11, level 13.
Oh yeah.
2 level ups, baby.
That's what we love to see. I mean, while Roshan is happening, Tiny gets a solo kill on solo, of course. And Effigy grabs the double Wisdom Rune. It's just a one-way street right now. 9Pandas have still got a decent way of holding high ground, though.
They do, but it's looking kind of grim, and they need that Eye of Skadi on Terrorblade before they can really take fights in a convincing way. We've seen the difference that Eye of Skadi makes for Terrorblade, whether you can latch onto targets or not, how good it is against Morphling as well, so he can't heal up. Morphling, though, already has everything he needs. Aegis in hand, Aghanims in inventory. He's just prepared to take the fights.
Already, any given moment, and with Miero missing out on his initiation, the 2-man avalanche toss, the Hand of God keeps Miero at least alive for now. Kiritich chases him down. That final adaptive strike, more than enough.
Turned into Storm there for a second as well to get the overload bonus on his attack.
Oh, cool.
And, get some extra damage in there.
I would never notice that. If you not said it, I would...
Yeah, he did it so he got extra attack range as well, actually, I think.
That's pretty smart.
And he has Aghanims pull. Oh boy, I didn't think about that. Yeah, the Aghanims pull is very strong. Wait for him.
Just jumping into base, killing off solo again. 9Pandas scrambling to clear out some of these waves and cut in behind them. Kiyotaka, what's he got? A couple hundred mana to ball and TP. Squad X, good guess, but off the mark.
Kiyotaka, nice play to cut that creep wave and get out, and that buys a little bit of time as Terrorblade is farming on the other side of the map with a DD rune. They're gonna go look at the Tormentor here, and it goes down very, very quickly. Actually, they can't really tank it well enough here, though. This is turning a bit awkward. They can fight this.
Getting a bit weird. Kiyotaka in and out.
Okay, they weren't close enough with the axe, but that was a little bit of an awkward spot for them.
We got an Urn to top up this Morphling as he heads high ground again. Still has the Aegis for quite some time, and the Tombstone is there as a defensive tool if need be.
It's not the greatest like that anymore, though, because if it's already down, he can't hop in if he's stunned.
Oh, Solo just gets tossed back into his death. 30 seconds without him. Alright, because the Undying and the Tombstone can't grab people, right?
It doesn't have grab ally anymore. Yeah, you gotta hop in yourself or get put in when he casts it. So when Tombstone's on the ground, they could actually go with the Axe and the Skywrath combo. Problem is, Aegis on Morphling. So even if you get him once, what's the follow-up play? You just used everything to kill him once and then you lose anyway?
Ramsey has absolutely no purpose here. Miero jumped in and died. Kiyotaka trying to get on top of Squad X, but they are lacking a certain element of damage and prowess, which is Ramses, who now arrives with his Metamorphosis. Trying to catch up to Noticed, but this Morphling doing an awful amount of damage. The buildings are falling. Sunder is there. Ramses trying to stand his ground and fight, but Virtus.pro are toying with 9Pandas right now.
He still didn't use his meta as well, so he has, well, on the Morphling. The TP used his meta, but the Morphling still has meta available if he wants to stick around and take a fight here. He's gonna leave, though. Very, very safe and controlled play here. Great push. Lost the Aegis, but back out, reset. Fantastic fight again for them.
Potentially just go down another lane. There's tier 2s mid and top to go and gather up. Quite a bit of space in that top left corner, which Kiyotanka's trying to move towards. The maneuvering on this map is impossible, though, as Squadix shows Miero what he's made of.
Chasing down. Gonna back out. Anyone who steps too close to this Tiny is just going down so fast. He's going for a BKB now as well with the Silver Edge. This Tiny is looking absolutely monstrous, and you better hope that in 2 minutes he doesn't fight Titan's Liver.
Oh my god, yeah, that'd be disgusting. Squadix, maybe a little bit too far, but a good force staff there. FNG creating space for the Tiny, and Solo slowed down by the Solar Bind. Chased out by the Morphling with a couple of hits. It's a simple takedown.
This is looking so grim. They keep bleeding kills here, and now they're just gonna walk up high ground. Terrorblade, still 50 seconds on this Metamorphosis. He doesn't have it yet, so this could be a nice high ground push if they want to commit. They can also just go top. Looks like VP want to take the little bit safer route. VP just coming in absolutely dominant here in game 1 in the series.
Looking absolutely incredible. I'm not showing like they're slowing down either. Squadix is always in the positions where, you know, someone edges out of the base, he's there, ready and waiting. And now he has BKB as another little safety net to make sure that when he does jump in hyper aggressively, he's not in too much danger.
Yeah, this Tiny finishes his BKB by disassembling Echo Saber, so he has it now. And not even committing all the heroes on the tower here. Someone should probably go and finish it up, but they're so aggressive on VP, always looking for where the heroes of 9Panda are. And over on the side of Ramses, who is the sort of only hope here to turn the game around, is the Terrorblade. He has finished up a Crystallis, he's hoping for a Daedalus, and they're bottling up Illusion Rune. Actually gave him a Kaya instead, like, here you go. You're a spellcaster now.
I was wondering what was going on there. Something TV has a Kaya. What's happening?
Kaya and Yasha, it's good, it can work.
That's not what he needs. Yeah. He needs to come back and defend. VP on your high ground. And they don't have Aegis Morphling this time.
He has to come back now. They gotta fight, but against this Aghanims that Morphling has available can just turn into Terrorblade, and TB's DPS is gone. Skipping Lincolns against Morphus, very tough.
And this Invis Tiny is always lurking, like trying to find where is the arrow, the jump in, the Doom. Squadix thinking about his entry to this fight. The Doom is dead though as TB stands up. Metamorphosis going. This could be 9Pandas' hold and turn of the fight. They kill the Doom, they hold the remnants of their base, but the majority of the buildings have already crumbled.
Yeah, they did lose melee racks again. Very painful. Doom failing a little bit with his blink initiation there. Tough for him to go first when he doesn't have BKB, but saw a chance to maybe go on the Terrorblade. If he got that Doom out, it would have been great. Of course, didn't really connect. Again, going up the high ground, they know Terrorblade now doesn't have meta anymore. It's timing out, and that's that painful timing to be on as a carry. Are we gonna see them go up and just punish this, or are they gonna wait for more item timings? They don't have Doom here, but Squadix is not too scared. He just goes up and whacks it a little bit.
I'm gonna double tap the buildings.
And then Illusion finishes it off. Very clean.
I mean, 9Pandas are trying to funnel down in this bottom lane. Any bit of room they can find there. They're snatching at it.
Smoke right outside the enemy base right now. VP are sticking around here. Morphling is showing his intentions.
Yeah, they've got a full-on siege going. Surrounded their opponents, cut off all the supply lines. This is where VP trying to get involved. Squadix defending with a nice tombstone grab. They keep the Morphling alive. Miero dropping low, but gets a bit of distance. TB Metamorphosis not available for 60 seconds. So dangerous times here for 9Pandas, but for now, they keep their base and their third lane alive.
Still a good hold. Definitely played that really well considering without meta it's so hard for them to defend, but they managed to do it in a good way. Good catch. But that also means VP can just back up. They don't have to end the game immediately here. Like, I think it would almost be easier to sit back and let 9Pandas come out on the map, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to smoke out on the map and look for a rotation. Problem is, these smoke rotations, when you have stuff hitting your towers, they're too obvious. They're just going to go back and clear this again, realizing this smoke is not connecting on anyone.
Yeah, just give 9Pandas a whole pass. Yeah, come out. We've got 3 corridors. You can go down one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if they step out of base, I think they're gonna get punished so hard. The moment they cross the river is when it gets dangerous.
I gotta start thinking about... Oh, Titan Sliver. Hello.
Oh no, did he get it?
Tiny got it.
Okay, you got a tier 5 item, you know, it's fine. No big deal.
So did the Morphling.
Okay, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see.
Anything else? Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the neutral item's so much more powerful now that you can pick between 5 individually, and you don't have to fight someone else for it. Because if they drop Titan Sliver, it would be a fight between them. Like, oh, I want it. No, I want it. You know. But now everyone can have their pick, get the best option out of the 5 available.
Well, a regen in for Squad X allows them to take Tormentor, get back to full, and come out onto this map. As Roshan has just respawned. It is daytime for 4.5 minutes, so he'll be down here for quite some time. VP can set up base, get some wards down, prepare themselves. But honestly, the 9Pandas, even if they know it's happening, do they feel comfortable coming to fight it?
I think you farm. I honestly think you farm. We're working on items right now. You need the Lincoln Sphere on Terrorblade, like, desperately. If he doesn't have Aghanims, or Lincolns, then he gets Aghanims by Morphling and gets destroyed. They also need to farm more items on other heroes. Yeah, Storm isn't really close to his Aghanim Scepter that he's working on, but you only have so many chances to farm anything in this game, so... Right now, they're trying to build BKB on the Axe, trying to build Aghanims on Storm. None of them are going to have it for the next fight, unless... For some reason, VP just slowed down now. But Lincoln's at least is completed on Terrorblade, so that's the little sliver of hope for them.
Something to play off.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very tough, though, next team fight.
Radiant's middle tower is
I mean, this Kotl might have his number. Yules and Force Staff.
Yules, Force Staff, Glimmer on the Undying too, so they have the double Glimmer. You got to be so diligent about carrying detection in these fights. And right now, I don't see detection. Okay, they have 1 dust on Skywrath, but no detection on the Chen. He has it backpacked.
Yeah. There's so many ways to pop the Lincolns. You've got the Purge creep on the Doom as well. Still there, ready to go. And here comes 9Pandas.
Here's the fight.
Who are they going to find? Sayosh Force Staffs immediately on breaking that smoke. Kiritich, he's got himself out of there. Manta's away, doesn't get called up. The Mystic Flare misses, and now they kill Kiyotaka with the Avalanche Toss. Ramsey's metted up with his illusions, trying to move forward, but the Morphling becomes a TB himself. In we go, over the top, Ramsey's tossed, he's sent skywards, comes down with a thud, still with Sunder available as they do get in there with a Mero call, aiming for the Morphling, noticed falls. Now Kiritich, he's still got an Aegis, so has a second life to play with as FNG Undying was backstabbing, but Ramsey has come out of this with a double kill and still looking pretty strong. Trouble being Squadix and Kiritich are both
Squadix in trouble.
There's a call, Miero finds the Tiny and 9Pandas, they've rallied around Ramsey's.
The buybacks are working out for him, they're winning that fight, and... Even though that was a good start to fight, Kiritich with a really nice Manta dodge on the call, kind of breaking the entire initiation there. Storm jumping after the Caudal, but not having any backup, so didn't have detection to kill the Glimmer-caped Caudal. Everything started horribly for 9Pandas, but they managed to turn it out around in a very good way around this Terrorblade.
He's very, very patient. This TB with his hand to Midas. We're getting to a point where he's feeling strong enough to fight around his squad. It really is just all in on TB. Everyone to defend him.
F to pay respects for the Midas that has fallen. No longer with us, but its glory will live on forever in the form of his Daedalus. You know, he's here. Still with us.
In memory. Wonder if he cremated him or buried him.
It's probably a saddest thing for a carry player when you have to sell your Midas. Definitely sadder than when my support dies, at least, that's for sure.
It's like it's like a little child. You bought it, you brought it up. You know,
it was with you from the start.
Midas learned things.
Yeah,
went on some journeys together.
Yeah. Okay, so they go back on the high ground here on VP, trying to control the area that they just fought, trying to clear some vision. They do have the gem, so checking and dewarding. There is a ward a little bit to the north. If they manage to get rid of that ward, it would be useful. That ward actually doesn't see high ground, by the way. That ward is it's a low ground ward. On the high ground. It's a stair ward.
It's a step too short.
Yeah, it's
1 step short of high ground vision.
It's skipping down the stairs, you know, like when you were a kid before you could walk the stairs, you can, you know, sit down and go down the stairs. That's what the ward is doing. It's heading down.
It's one of those slinkies.
Yes, exactly.
Flopping down.
So, key timings right now that they have on Radiant. What do they have coming out from Tiny? Tiny has the full Aghanims. Okay, nice. So he purchased the Aghanims, and he has a Rapier queued up. He has a game plan. He knows what he wants. And they also have 9-second BKB on Doom, completely fresh here, so they are really hitting their timings. Meanwhile, still no BKB on the Miero Axis. He had to buy back last fight. He doesn't have that ready. Storm 600 gold away from having his Aghanim Scepter. They're just slightly short of their timings.
Yeah, they're already 2 lanes of barracks down. And Kiyotaka just trying to clear out some of these waves, keep VP at bay for as long as they possibly can.
The thing is, it's unlikely that VP are going to go high ground before getting another Roche here. So
right.
You probably will hit your timings, but the downside is VP will add even more to their own timings. They're going to get that late BKB 9 seconds for Morphling here as he's queuing it up. He was considering going as Satanic before, but against this Eye of Skadi, deciding to go BKB probably better.
And I mean, Squadix, he's had a spectacular game. Goes in onto solo. Tree volley, avalanche, tree toss,
he's
solo,
alive.
Somehow still alive. Drums popped, mech used, off he runs. Noticed, he's giving chase here, but Blink is on cooldown and solo's fine.
Wow, he just waddles out of there. The little Chen feels safe. Axe looking for initiation.
Ramsey just walked straight back into them. Doomed up, solo binds on him. Ramsey's been controlled and killed. Your main carry, all of your net worth is gone down the drain, spiraling down. Oh, that's a travesty. I mean, 9Pandas have done so much to fight back into this game, and one move, Ramsey just throws it all away.
I'm not sure why he went up that ramp, why he stayed there, but yeah, there was vision, there was a ward on the high ground. They ping it out now, but it's a little bit too late as they call GG. Yeah, he just walked under a ward and got punished.
Anticlimactic ending. I mean, I felt like this was VP's
I feel like
game
they knew about that Observer ward when Chen got jumped in Fog War. Chen already got jumped, but maybe he thought that he was just in the Shadow Blade. Either way, unfortunate end for 9Pandas. They tried until the very end, but this was a very dominant performance from the start here. I mean, Squadix, man of the hour, 23, 2, and 5.
Spectacular.
Yeah, it was very, very, very clean game from Squadix. Absolute showing of how to play tiny mid. You say that, I would have to.
I mean, Ramsey's in the end. He finished up where his Midas did. No longer in the game.
Yeah, this was like a one fight where he overcommitted a little bit and his Undying died because he couldn't walk through the Terrorblade. But overall, the game was just so good for both the POS 1 and the POS 2 of VP this game.
Yeah, and even going back further, like just thinking about how this draft developed, right? It was first phase. What was it? First to the Storm
first pick
plus
Storms,
Chen,
yeah.
And then the Tiny response. Like Storm and Tiny first phased, and a Tiny pick was just really, really solid.
Yeah, you can see why he wanted to play this for sure. Getting that first blood, though, how much of it comes back to that, right? He got first blood on Tiny. Tiny is probably one of the biggest tempo mid-heroes that you can ask for in terms of ganks. And if he gets that Magic Stick plus bottle earlier against Storm, it makes his life so much easier. And once he got Blink Dagger, he immediately got a double kill as well. Everything just turned out perfectly for him.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, that's a game changer at the beginning of the game. It's no joke. You know, it's these little things really do add up and compound over time and build up the advantage. As VP take game 1 up against 9Pandas. And we'll find out after a quick break how this all develops. See you then.
حتاكل انت تشبع وانت مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبه جايه على الاصول. واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الاوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it. وتسوي كده وتسوي كده وتسوي كده مع الحشمه وانت بغراب خفيفه جيب تويستر. انا تجيب لي وجبه الزنجر بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر. حطلب باكيت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر. جيب له باكيت جيب له زنجر جيب له الاصلي جيب له تويستر. delicious yeah
Welcome back to the Riyadh Masters. Hopefully that break allowed you to get hydrated and stuff to food and snacks as we get ourselves into Game 2 between 9Pandas and Virtus.pro. And interestingly enough, it is kind of what we were talking about. VP still very good at taking these individual games, getting a good draft against some of these top Eastern European teams, and taking Game 1.
Yeah, they took Game 1 in a very convincing fashion. I mean, this was the most dominant individual performance that I've seen so far, actually. It was probably Squadix in this game. I mean, we saw Jim Park as well have clean games, and we've seen some good games, but 23 kills, 2 deaths on Tiny? Absolutely astonishing. And yeah, they just had on top of that, also a free start on Morphling, crushing it. So VP looked super good in Game 1 here. 9Pandas, they need to change something. Getting a bad laning stage can ruin the entire game, and that's what happened there. You need to get lanes that work. They opted to pick this Axe. They thought the Axe would work into this lane. Turned out to be pretty rough there. You got punished pretty hard, I want to say. And you can argue that it comes down to the supports that, Undying just wins lanes. He's just that strong. But in that case, Axe is not a playable pick. So we'll see if they adapt, change things around a little bit here, or if it's going to be VP again taking another game.
Yeah, very well. Could be. Yeah, I mean, that Axe's Vanguard getting delayed, once, then twice, then a third time.
Oh, yeah.
And really put him in a bad spot. Then he died to Ancients.
Big camp stolen by Undying Tombstone
right.
too. And then he got distracted by a Tiny coming in and stunning him, making him waste some time as well. Like, there was a lot of things, man. It was all despair. It was a horrible time. I think he will never want to watch this replay. This is not even a study replay moment. This is just like, no, let's move forward.
Under the carpet.
Yeah, absolutely. Forget about it.
Well, let's see if 9Pandas, can turn the frown upside down, get themselves into Game 2, and maybe an advantageous draft. We'll find out what exactly they're going to be unfolding for us here, as we, still potentially could be dipping back into what you were talking about, the mid-Rubik, Kiyotaka's Tinker. There's some cheesy little things that they could grab for themselves, but it's about laying the foundations first before you get to those cheesy picks that can be the difficult part.
It is, but at the same time, certain heroes can be busted out pretty early, like we saw the early Storm pick there, and it could have worked, but fortunately for VP in last game, they had a great reaction to it with the Tiny, countering some of the abusable heroes in the early game. And that's what we sometimes don't really see too much. If a hero gets picked early on and you don't have a good response to it, even if it's a hero that can be countered, sometimes they just don't. And Tiny did a great job just shutting down things.
Well, that's a Clink's ban. Straight up in the first phase.
Yeah, that is definitely an early removal of that. Interesting to see. It's I haven't actually been following 9Pandas too closely lately here, so I've seen Clinks be experimented with a lot before, but I haven't seen it be a first phase ban. That's
yeah, it's not like a completely wild pick. Like we've seen it in that position 4 role. I think a couple of the Chinese teams have played it carry as well, and LGD has for sure. But yeah, maybe this is something that's gone on, behind closed doors in scrims or something, where VP have figured out maybe a pattern where 9Pandas lose game 1, they're dire side, they bring out the Clinks, something like that. Second pick Clinks +1.
Yeah, that's definitely an early time to pick it up at least. It's interesting.
Well, a bit of swapping of the guards now. Doom for 9Pandas, Chen for VP, swapping hands.
Yeah, switching it up a little bit, see what you're gonna play. So again, you have the consume against the Chen creeps. Doom's still a very good hero in general as well, not just specifically for this matchup, but you're happy to take it.
Seconds remaining.
Is it just Rubik time?
They might take it here, actually, but you don't want to pick it into Chen. I mean, you might risk going Rubik into a game where you don't have anything exciting to play it. By the way, they did play, Antares did play his Clinks in their game yesterday, it seems, or was it even today? It was earlier today, yeah.
5 hours ago, yeah.
Yeah, they played earlier today against Secret, and they did win that game. So they've played it, but they haven't been spamming it. They definitely haven't been doing it that much. It just goes back to, you know, old style. The Visage pick with the Doom. Okay.
Yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, that Clinks pick was like a 24 pick. It was, yeah, position 4. That's the same game that had that mid Rubik. But yeah, Visage Doom, what does this indicate?
Well,
a support Visage?
To me, it looks more like support Doom usually.
Oh, Ramsey's Doom, potentially.
Yeah, he also has played carry Doom a lot in the past, but I would expect that this is just gonna be Miero on his Doom, and that you just Miero on the Visage here, and you put support Doom. It's okay. The pairing is pretty strong. Either way, I suspect it's going to be off lane, but you can run it as a hard carry if it looks like a good game for it. I don't think it looks like a good game for it when you play against Medusa, because normally the thing about Doom carry is you get really big, and then you use Doom and just go on the enemy carry and you destroy them. If you Doom yourself with Aghanims or whatever and jump in on a Medusa, she doesn't care. She keeps hitting. There's no difference. So I think you run it off lane for sure.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of Googling. I'm just wondering, it's like Visage mid was like a Stormstormer special. I'm trying to think if Kiyotaka ever played it, because it's one of those weird heroes that can like pop up in the playbook of some of these midders. I think you're probably right with your gut read.
I haven't seen Kiyotaka run the Visage much.
No, I don't think so. I mean, in fact, 9Pandas haven't played Visage since they were still called Hellraisers.
Oh, wow.
6 months ago.
It's quite a while.
And that was a Miero pick, yeah. So your gut read probably right.
Yeah, I don't think that they're doing anything crazy here. And if your mid is a Visage picker, you're going to know that it's a Visage picker because they will have spammed it, before. And I just can't remember Kiyotaka really spamming that. It's not really his type hero, I think. He's usually more a flashy hero type player, whereas Visage is more of the,
nerd hero.
Yeah, it's nerdy. It's more positional. It's how a chess player would call it.
Nerd hero, is it?
Yeah, definitely nerdy.
Oh, Ankar's the Wind Ranger. Okay, so protecting this Medusa a little bit along with the anti-mage bands.
Yeah, as they would say, probably Sadrot hero. I'm a TA Sadrot.
I see. I'll add that to the vocab.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean banning now as 9Pandas? More steroid stuff for the Dusa?
I mean, you could. I don't really like the all eggs in one basket. I think it's okay to go for just the Chen, Penitence an enemy, and then Solar Crest to Medusa, try and buff up that way. Maybe Greaves for some mana as well. You probably want to run one more mana boot hero. It's like a thing that is underappreciated when you pick Medusa in your team. Just having heroes that it's natural to have mana boots on gives you a lot of value. But I don't really love the, everything to enable Medusa strat, because it can really fall apart quickly. Rather, I would like to see them just focus on getting lanes that make a lot of sense and are good. Right now, we basically know the 9Pandas off lane versus the Virtus.pro safe lane. It's pretty much all out there. I suspect that that's going to be the 5 the 1 and the 3 and the 4.
Okay, I'm calling it now. We're going to see an Ember Spirit against Huskar this game.
Yeah?
It's happening. Wind Ranger's gone. Tinker's gone. Someone's going to pick Ember. Kiyotaka's going to want it. And Squadic's going to whack out the old Huskar.
I'm with you on the Ember call, but a lot of teams, they don't go full commit for the Huskar counter, sadly. But it's... I'm not really a proponent of Huskar picks. I think he's disgusting, but... he gets banned, so...
Upsetty.
If he wasn't, your prediction would have been correct, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. No, yeah, I think you're right, though. This Huskar, like, Ember Spirits, the players have not necessarily figured a way out how to lane against him, but they kind of have by not laning against him, just sitting back and spamming Slight and waiting till level 6.
It's not you don't really lane against them. You just lose lane, and then you hope that you can recover the mid game. That's basically the play, the only play you have, unless a teammate can come and help you. There's no outplaying Huskar as an Ember in laning stage. It's just a loss, unless the Huskar makes mistakes. It's one of those. Unless he fucks up, I just lose this kind of lanes.
Yeah.
So Keeper of Light and Tiny come in here, so they get that little bit of extra mana giving. I'm not a big fan of Caudle and Chen together, personally, but they do have Caudle Tiny, which we saw can be very strong in last game as well. So
you're not a fan of men on horses?
I mean, I'm a fan of limited men of horses, Gareth.
The cavalry's here.
Yeah, it is. But the cavalry won't do so well when they get swashbuckled to death in one click.
Squashed by a swashbuckle.
Yeah. Cavalry not notably used against Pangoliers.
He could swap out his rapier for a lance, start bringing them down.
Yeah,
they still go for this tiny Cottle though, and that's strength coming out the laning stage. We saw Scordex pop off pretty hard in game, exceptionally hard in game 1.
Oh yeah, he showed what he can do, and the Tiny versus Pango matchup is also pretty damn good. It's, not worse than the Storm matchup for sure, and it serves a similar role. You lock down the Pango, you have 2 spells that can stop his roll. It was similar how they picked the Tiny to counter out the Storm, because again, you have 2 different spells that can stop you from jumping away. You can kind of burst him as well. Pango is susceptible to all the same things. SD gets snagged up, so that's going to give them the ability to get some Medusa illusions for themselves. Also be able to save against that Tiny jump.
Yeah, because Tiny is the be-all and end-all of teamfight control right now. Keeper Light maybe can get Aghanim Scepter later on down the line, but no real stuns outside of this avalanche.
Yeah, definitely looks like outside of Tiny, there's not too much reliable control. You never know what creeps Chen is gonna. And in teamfights, of course, you have the Stone Gaze, but 9Pandas, I like their fighting draft a little bit more right now, but like I said earlier, it's all about getting a good start to the lanes, and I think 9Pandas did a good job getting an off lane that should be, able to farm no matter what. It shouldn't be a shutdown like we had last game where Miro just can't play the game. Doom kind of guarantees you're going to get some farm, and Doom Visage versus Chen Medusa, it's not going to be that rough at all.
Because it often feels like against a Medusa, you don't necessarily want to be continually hunting her or playing hyper aggressive, but you want this kind of pressing formation, right? You want this ebb and flow of the game where you're pushing her back, giving her a little bit of space, and then pushing her back again. And you're getting like 70% of the map while she's getting maybe 30. Try and limit how much farm that the rest of her team can actually gather up on the map, which this Doom Visage Pango should be able to do pretty nicely.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what they're going to add as the final component to the mix. But first, what do they not want to play against? So TB getting banned out by VP. They don't want to have 9Pandas have their own illusion hero, of course, when they pick the ST, so they could get more value out of that pick. And they ban out the Timbersaw, fearing some AoE damage here and pure damage.
Shadow Demon's also a pretty good block pick against some of noticed heroes that are left out there, with no Beastmaster, with no Timbersaw. He probably would be looking at a Primal Beast or something like that. Shadow Demon can stop him in his tracks. It'd be pretty annoying.
The Dispel, again, like I said, the Q won't work. Dispel the Onslaught. If you get ST ulted, can charge away. And also the slow movements, but of course against the Trample, the more primary counter. A lot of things are good about that matchup.
I mean, what can he even go for? There's no Doom. After seeing Axe in the previous game, probably thinking, not all about that. Magnus, not great.
Wind Ranger banned as well. Yeah, a lot of interesting options being removed here.
Is it Darkseer for VP?
Yeah, Darkseer would work. Darkseer would actually work really well. Surge is good here for Medusa and for Tiny as well. Could be one, but it's a bit awkward. Darkseer Caudle lane.
Yeah, and you're playing into Doom as well. I was thinking Darkseer and then maybe a Tide. Tide is always that you're at the end of the draft. What do we need? Okay, I should pick the watermelon kind of situation.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough to say exactly what hero fits the best for them here. A lot of options have been removed. See what they end up with. They go for the Tide, like you suggested. Yeah, I mean, this is we can't really get anything better, so let's go Tide kind of feel. And Juggernaut.
You know what's funny? I was just about to say, Tidehunter is in that category with Juggernaut for me. Like a couple of years ago, Juggernaut was that hero that's just like, he doesn't do anything particularly well. He's just a solid all-around hero. We don't know what else to pick. Let's pick it. Tide and then Jug. Bang. There you go.
Yeah. Jug is nice here, though. Definitely strong. And Jug is a very, very strong hero with his lifesteal talent, of course. And we'll see how well he can do here. It's a nice lane that he's going to be having. Jug against Tidehunter is not the worst. You can always do a lot of magic damage to him as well with the spin. And SD combining up into this as well. I think... I want to say that VP's draft is solid, but I think 9Pandas have much better cards this time than last game.
Yeah, it feels much better. And I don't know about the stats about this. This is just my like gut read from games I've cast and watched, but I felt and I've seen Juggernaut like demolish Medusa drafts. Like his timing, if they can get past that like 25-30 minute window and he scales that little bit more, it often feels like Juggernaut can just win the game and Medusa doesn't stand a chance.
Jug is very good against Medusa, I would say. It's a very good matchup because Medusa has very bad single target damage versus a carry, and she relies a bit on her Stone Gaze triggering, and Jug can even cheat that by using his Swift Slash and Omni Slash to kind of reset it. You know, you go in, it starts to trigger, then you use Swift Slash, it triggers, like you avoid it basically.
Yeah.
So... for a lot of reasons, it's hard for Medusa. Not enough single target damage, but it's going to come down to more than just a Juggernaut matchup. It's going to come down to how much can they get out of the Tidehunter plus Medusa Hagar push, timing push with the chain creeps, who's going to control Roche. A lot of things will come into play.
Yeah, it's been a while since Medusa's the hyper late game carry. Much more of a timing-based hero now. 20-25 minutes around a couple of key early items. Butterfly very often a big choice for them to go for. We'll find out how it goes though. Here we are, game 2. VP head in this best of 3. Of course, we've moved on from the group stage in the play-ins to the play-in playoffs, or the deciding best of 3s. The winner of this does go through to the main event, and the loser, unfortunately, is eliminated. 9Pandas one loss away from that situation themselves, so all to play for here for 9Pandas. And VP, chip on their shoulder. After all these DPC tours, a victory against the big boys would be huge for them.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of good luck, have fun, and good luck to each other here. The two teams, of course, competing out of the same region. Didn't really have a choice in matching up against each other here, but they're gonna, fight it out. One game up for VP, 9Pandas. Can they bring it back? Looks like they are a little bit more aggressive here, contesting runes, as they have pretty strong level 1 with the Juggernaut spin. You're always very capable of finding first blood, especially with Visage in your team.
And blood grenades.
Yeah. Oh, that ward was spotted. So that one is going to get dewarded for sure here, immediately by FNG.
Very nice.
The battle begins.
Get rid of that. It's been a little rarer seeing those deeper wards. When you got the Chen on the Radiant, usually we see that sort of far southeast ward get placed down near the double camp. Hunter S actually being burnt down pretty heavily just by right clicks from FNG and Kiritich there.
A lot of damage from the slow of a Blood Grenade, Penitent, and Mystic Snake, and then just auto attack as much as they can. Of course, he's just a support Doom, though. The Visage is the real core on the lane that you want to do the most damage to. But that does mean Doom is going to struggle to shield his carry a little bit, or offlane a little.
Early battles on both of the side lanes. Sayer's taking a beating from Solo and his early disruption. He does lose a lot of his HP. Ramses, I'm trying to get his early last hits in as well. First wave's already meeting near that tier 1.
Love to see all these Blood Grenade pops immediately when lane starts. It's like people just run at each other, throw them out.
Yeah. You start using your tangos, will you? Go on. That regen trade battle.
Close eye on this mid lane, and already 4 denies for the Tiny here. Of course, has that big damage and scores some good denies before Pango starts to spell farm everything.
Was it us casting together? There was a game where I'm pretty sure it was Kiyotaka didn't go for shield crash. He just like went 2-0-2 build or something. Do you remember what that lane matchup was?
I can't remember that, but maybe it was with me. We cast a lot of games of them.
Yeah, the past couple of months has been a wild ride of Dota 2. But yeah, looks like this time around Kiyotaka going reasonably standard. 1-1-0 so far, trying to secure up his last hits early on. Spam out the waves, clear them quickly. And bottom lane, a bit of dragging going on.
Yeah, pulling creeps back, getting them all the way back. It's hard for him to be aggressive here against the double range. Visage has a very weak timing early on. He he does need a few levels. Like level 3, he has a power spike, and level 6, he has a power spike. Other than that, level 1, he's actually not the strongest hero on the lane. It's good for first blooding, but Chen is sort of the bully on this lane. We see him going on Antares.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Penitence, little purge creep, slowing him down, and the kill is there. Medusa gets the first blood. A little soul assumption, a big soul assumption. Thrown back his way, though. Does get a trade at least.
Yeah, he walked back in, was microing his satyr there, and walked a little bit too close to the visage. That soul assumption has so long range. It's easy to underestimate it like that.
I like these bassies being picked up by the safe lane carries. We've seen a bit from Drow, Medusa. Not only keeping yourself topped up, but yeah, partner as well.
Yeah, for Medusa, it's really just you don't buy any tangles anyway, so this is your tangle.
Yeah. Just keep your mana pool as high as possible, but he's dead to the soul assumption scorched earth. Another soul assumption towards FNG, but can't keep chasing him as we see Medusa's shield sink down into the earth after her death.
She tried to mango there, but was not able to stay alive. Not quite enough regen out of that Bassi. Top lane, a lot more quiet of a lane right now, but they're attempting to go for a kill with the spin here. Grenade, nice body blocks by Tide. Tide walks between the Juggernauts and the Caudle there as he got disrupted. Saves the life of his buddy.
Hey up, solo kill mid. Squad X takes down Kiyotaka. I've been keeping my eyes on that, and Kiyotaka's been quite aggressive, even going under tower and taking some tower hits. But top lane, hang on a second. Ping back up to there. Ramses getting smashed around by Notice, but no kill.
Squad X is just on one today. He's absolutely owning. Getting a solo kill on Kiyotaka here is absolutely massive. Putting his Tiny back in a good start. He didn't get the first blood this time, so he had to get a solo kill to make up for it.
Of course he did, yeah. Oh, he's a full level ahead of this Pango now. 4 minutes coming up. No supports rotating at all. Everyone is heads down, making sure they're buried in their work in these side lanes. Getting very involved.
Water runes are usually pretty hard to rotate for, but Solo is going to rotate bottom, going behind the enemy team here, trying to set up something. But he's going to walk under detection. Or actually, yeah, they have it. Why is it red for me? Am I on Dire Spectator or something?
No, this has been a bug for a while.
Is it just a spectator bug? I thought it was Dire.
Yeah, I think it was red for me as well. I was a bit confused about what was going on.
I was like, he's going to walk under detection, because on the minimap it was green. So I was like, oh.
Odd. There's even a rain observer on the Twin Gate as well, right? So I saw him come across no matter what. There's a few interesting things going on with the Watchers. Antares, Miero back onto FNG. Chen is throwing a blood grenade at them and trying to get this Medusa another kill, but it doesn't look like they'll be successful. Mud Golem's chasing, but the pebble throw... Oh, the snake. South cancelled. Go on, little Mud Golem.
Get him.
Throw your pebbles at them. The punches from the Mud Golem. Oh, yeah.
So strong. That extra
Golem,
damage.
get you gone.
The 10 extra bonus damage from being persuaded by Chen. If it had not joined the Omniscience, it would not have been strong enough. Wait, is it the Omniscience? It's not Omniscience. That's
Omni?
I don't know. No, Chen also is Omniscience, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, some Omniscience. He speaks about something, then. I don't know.
Some holy healing stuff.
Listen, Look at Kiyotaka.
Very sneaky. So yeah, it doesn't have... Oh, he's got a sentry down pre-placed already, so Kiyotaka pops out of the invis. They're still trying to lurk around.
I mean, they can't really steal that, sadly. They would love to steal the Ancients, but they don't have the Battle Fury yet on Juggernaut. If they get the Battle Fury before the Ancients get cleared, though, that could be a potential steal at some point.
That would be a big move for Ramses.
Just chasing Kiyotaka here into land of nowhere. What are you going to do here? Toss? Spam toss?
He gets him!
Oh, the Chakra.
The Chakra magic brings the Avalanche back. Kiyotaka going to try and roll, but... he's got no TP anymore, does he? Gonna try and get out of here the good old-fashioned way. Beep, beep, I'm a Jeep. Please, let me escape.
He is rolling out of here. Autobots rollouts, gets a little delivery, gets a neutral item. It's gonna save his life here as he has magic resistance from that 10%.
Ooh, yeah.
It's gonna be fine. Be fine no matter what. They can't really keep up with his speed. But yeah, game is settling down into a pretty farmy game right now. I think it favors 9Pandas though, as they have this Visage happily growing, and at the same time got Juggernaut about to finish his Battle Fury not too far from now.
Alright, looks like we're back, Wagga. We're back into things. Back on live stream. 5-6. VP against 9Pandas. If you're just joining us, if you've been sticking around for a while, we are in game 2 of this best of 3. Welcome, welcome, one and all. And 9Pandas really looking for this victory on the back of the Ramses Juggernaut after dropping game 1. It's been pretty tight. Squad X has just got his Blink Dagger as well, so looking to have a beautiful debut of this jump.
Yeah, with the smoke, same as they did last time. When you get this Blink Dagger complete on Tiny, immediately smoke up and then go for not just any kill, go for some priority kill. They're looking for the Visage. This is a big pick if they can get it.
Well, Miera's been sat down here for a good 3-4 minutes just doing whatever he wanted to. But he's going to be found out by Tiny. Antares there, ready with a Doom. Notice trying to gush down the Doom as well. Push him around with the Blinding Light into the Centaur Stomp. They keep Miero alive, and that's the big thing there for 9Pandas.
Yeah. He survives on Visage, and he doesn't even really need to leave here. He can keep farming in the areas. They kind of ran out of resources, but still not the best thing to lose your Doom cooldown and not really get something actively for it.
Solo. The raindrops paying off. Right, it's a level 1 Illuminate. Seos going for the same kind of build with a maxed out Chakra, playing alongside Tiny. Doesn't offer that much damage, just a bit of annoyance. Notice, it's getting chipped away out here. Even with that level 2 Kraken Shell, taking a lot of damage from the birds and the Soul Assumption, but he's tanky enough with a triple gauntlet chainmail build. Gets out of danger now. Turns onto Antares. And they slowed him down in the Illuminate. The Gush, the Slows, the Avalanche Toss. There it is. A second jump in, and Squad X claims his dominating streak, but they've got a Shadow Demon and a Visage still trying to play towards him. They've slowed this Tiny down quite a bit. There's no real follow-through, though. 9Pandas not bringing the numbers. They're feeling still comfortable just to play wide out on the map.
Kiyotaka is still playing top. He's trying to go on Kirtik here. He's going aggressive. Double TP immediately.
Get straight on him. Toss back into the Stone Gaze. Can they clip it? Kiyotaka, oh, gets the roll off. The physical damage not enough. And he'll TP out of there.
He's going to be fine. Midas used by Kirtik here, trying to farm as fast as he can, but this is going to slow down his Manta timing, though, that he went for this this Midas, but we'll see if it pays off in the end. All they need to do is hold on and not get overrun, but this Juggernaut's going to hit a much faster timing as he has the Battle Fury already. Once he goes for that Yasha probably next. He could also go Diffu if you wanted to. Diffu is not uncommon against Medusa on Juggernaut. Diffu upgrade even is pretty normal.
So is this Sanjin Yasha kind of game? Because we've seen that kind of switch up between Manta and S and Y.
I would say Manta is fine here. I think Manta is fine. Usually S and Y is better when there's like a lot of stuff that status resistance is good against, and right now there's like Tiny Stun. It's not actually that good against it. Ravage, it's okay against, but other than that, you kind of want Manta because of the Solar Bind from Caudal. The Blinding, it's good against that too. The Manta is just your preferred item.
Yeah. Well, wrapping around on top. Squad X going to try and escape. Seosh left all alone up here. Kiyotaka secures himself a kill in that northern jungle.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Diffu, it looks like, first here. So, he changed his mind again. Ramses, he had his Diffu queued up. He changed to Yasha again, so... Okay, Yasha, but definitely considering the Diffu.
At the top of the net worth. We're good. 600 ahead of the Medusa right now. Feeling pretty hot on this jug. Radiant scan into their own Ancients area, knowing that someone's around. Kiyotaka, Solo, and Miero all here.
Yeah, Visage is so ready to go fight now. I mean, he has Vladimir's and he has Solar Crest. Visage is really strong.
He's going to get... Oh, disruption to stop the toss. Nicely done. Quick reactions from Solo, but the Ravage on 3. Noticed. Looking to turn us back onto them.
Pango, though.
Kiyotaka with a roll. Pango rolling Thunder in with a Doom on Tiny. They're focusing towards Squadix. The kill is there. They get the takedown as Kirich, he does arrive with a Stone Gaze and the damage onto the Doom. They find the kill as Kiyotaka jumps out of the Meteor Hammer landing. Miero, oh, he's burnt through a lot of this Medusa's mana. VP looking to just disengage and run away, but the turnaround play, 9Pandas, they don't even need their Juggernaut. They're 4v5 crushing VP here in game 2, diving tier 1 top, killing Dusharov, Kiyotaka with a double kill.
It's looking so dominant. Meanwhile, Juggernaut is just smiling, he's pushing mid. Ramsey's not even joining. Notice going to go down here as well, no way out. And you gotta be careful and say if you stay around, you might get diffused and brought down as well. And yeah, that absolutely spells doom here and disaster for them. Early game was so rough already here. Now losing this massive fight without even Juggernaut joining.
Yeah, Ramsey just grinning, farming creeps. I'm AFK in the jungle, boys. You're 4v5ing, no big deal.
Yeah.
Big victory for 9Pandas. Now taking out enemy Ancients as well.
Exactly, stealing the resources now, taking enemy Ancients is going to cripple the Medusa even further, make it very hard for her to come back into the game. This is where you really wish you had Manta though. You start pushing out lanes with it, you know. 16 minutes, you would have Manta for sure by now. Like 17 minutes at least, you would have it.
He's double dipping, going back into these blades of alacrity. Krotl dead to Kiyotaka, just a straight up jump in, pick off.
This is a Kiyotaka who got solo killed mid lane. He didn't have a good start at all. He was one level behind the Tiny, and now he's completely recovered. Gonna go top and get healed up a little bit as well as he joined in for this Roche. Bring in the Lucky Strike as well for a bit of extra procs. Lucky shot.
Yeah, nothing VP can do to get up there, even if they wanted to. Not really in fighting shape. Still waiting a couple of 100 gold for this Echo Saber on Tiny. And Medusa with the Hand of Midas. I don't know the last time I saw Hand of Midas win a game, honestly.
I'm not convinced. We saw the Void lose a game with Midas. We saw other games with triple Midas where it also lost. I don't know. The Ogre Midas.
Yeah. It's like every game we've cast with Hands of Midas, the Midas has lost.
Losing item.
There was a game where Quest bought triple Midas and they won. Oh, Medusa. The Midas, not going to help you. Mana burnt. Medusa looking like she's down and out. Maybe with a TP and the Chakra Magic, but the disruption's there from Solo to save. Not even save, but to cancel a TP to stop Medusa from TPing out.
Yeah. Not going to be able to leave there, and that just keeps her well down below the Juggernaut in net worth. And again, immediately when they take away the enemy's control, they go in and steal the Ancients and just go for these big resources. Ramses, he's the target now, but how do you kill him? I don't know. Between these heroes, you just don't kill Juggernaut, I think. They will try.
Oh, okay. Squadix having a go at it.
Blind jump into Fog of War. Have to respect the attempt, but yeah, I don't think they have the resources to kill him.
Level 15 Jug.
He's getting absolutely massive now. He's got the full Diffu. Landed. 19 minutes. Diffu, Yasha, Battle Fury, Power Treads. That's a lot.
BKB on the Pos 4 Doom.
Yeah, he's also farmed a lot now. And, you know, didn't go Midas on the Pos 4 Doom. Skipping the Midas. That's the winning play.
A lot of pings here from VP around this bottom tier 1.
Oh boy, sure Medusa again has been caught out.
Oh no. Zoomed up. No escape. She is dead.
It's not fun being Medusa against two Diff Blades, you know. Not that she has ever encountered one of them. Bottom, Ramses. Can he burst him? Nope.
He gets off his spin. That's it. That's fight over for VP. They've got to run. Turn tail, bail away. Omni Slash in, not unnoticed. Demonic Purge, and they've got a Rolling Thunder with the Aghanim Scepter. Kiyotaka arrives with a crash and a bang. Looking to wall up any more heroes left standing by.
Hunter is almost connecting there to the Squadix. Just walked around the trees in the wrong way. Otherwise would have run into Tiny. Possibly could have caught more.
Well, yeah, 20 minutes in. This feels like a foregone conclusion at this point.
Yeah, this is looking absolutely terrible. I mean, you don't even have better late game. VP's lineup, I don't know, these early Medusa picks, they get counterpicked by Pangos and Jugs with Diff Blades and Shadow Demons. It's just nearly impossible to play. I don't think Medusa is as strong anymore after the E patch that you can pick her this early.
Hey, this is meant to be the start of her timing, right? 20, 25, 30 minutes. That 10-minute period is meant to be where she's like super strong.
Yeah, but she's also supposed to have like Manta, Butterfly, and Knife Scotty by this time, you know?
Yeah.
She doesn't have Manta style yet, dude. It's 20 minutes. This is absolute despair game. I think this Midas has to be the worst Midas I've seen all tournament, though. I don't agree with this one. Kuratic is an amazing player. I respect him a lot, but I think this Midas is absolute terrible.
It's definitely not paid off for him. I mean, just looking at the net worth board. Red, Medusa. Yeah, okay, that's a green hero there. But Doom, the position 4, is like on her tail, 100 net worth behind. Tiny and Tide also having some struggles of their own.
Look at Kiyotaka just going in again.
I look at the mini-map and I just see the Pangolier just going in to tier 3s. Crimson and Solar Crest there for the Chen. A little tankier than Kiyotaka maybe had expected.
The Crimson Chen, yeah. Providing some damage block at least for himself. It's also a bit weird game when your Tide ends up being the mech Meteor Hammer and then your Chen is the Crimson Guard carrier. No, Chen is actually tankier than Tide in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. This is that kind of pressing gameplay, right? You're pushing forward on some lanes, letting the Medusa come out into a pocket where she's feeling safe to farm. You go back in to kill her. Then you look at the Tide, get the takedown unnoticed. He'll pop his mech, run around in circles. The Rolling Thunder and the Swashbuckles are there from Kiyotaka. And look at this, Ramses is joining. He's ready. 15k net worth. It's time to fight, boys. Let's put this one to bed.
Yeah, Healing Ward coming in as well, fixing up Kiyotaka and Solo, getting their HP topped off here as they, you know, had a little skirmish. But this is looking all but over right now.
Yeah, 22 minutes, they're on tier 3, forcing glyphs. Not even too bothered about the multi-shot. Usually everyone, runs away from it. Ramses and Kiyotaka stay there for a little bit. Smoking up as they see Squadix on the right-hand side of the map, clearing waves and killing towers. Ooh. Blinks away from the Doom, who've lifted his hands. Wisdom Rune going to get grabbed by the Tiny as well. The stuns, no disruption. It's there to stop the TP.
And so you die.
die.
Look at that. Did some damage, but then Aegis pop immediately after. Oh, I didn't know that the Tormentor doesn't count for cancelling Aegis regeneration.
Yeah,
I guess it's just a neutral.
Yeah, I noticed that last game, Tiny had a regen rune running. It didn't cancel his regen either.
Oh, that's cool, actually. Should have used that.
I didn't know until literally 30 minutes ago. I forgot to mention it. Ramses with a spin TP. Nothing to stop him. He's out of there. Doom and gloom for VP in this game too.
They will get their own Tormentor at least. And Crimson Guard is still absolutely busted against Tormentor, blocking all the damage. Very big. So they get the Caudal Shard. Is that going to be what saves them here? The recall? You can farm more aggressively with Medusa. Send her to the mines. North. He yearns for the mines, Gareth. They do. Yeah. Medusa's yearn for the mines. It's true.
We need to send a canary in there first to make sure she's safe, right?
No, at this point, dude, you crawl in there. It's safer there than in your base.
Just go as deep as possible, become a dungeon dweller. A spelunker. That's where Tide wishes he was right now, instead of flopping dead on the floor. So at this point, you don't want to be 6 feet under. You don't want to be in a grave. You want to be 500 fathoms under the sea. That is where Medusa's heading. Far, far up north. Past the wall. Into where the wildlings live.
I am back. My means of communication died.
Oh no. You've not missed much. Kuratic, he's TPing out. He's alright. But look at where 9Pandas are. They are on the doorstep of this Radiant base.
Yeah, doesn't really look like there's anything you can do to stop it here. And sadly, Medusa didn't get to stay in the mines too long. Only her illusion. She got to see the mines. Backdoor protection, they don't care.
It's like one of those tourist day trips. They ship you out on a bus, you get to see it for 5 minutes, and ship you back to your hotel. Yeah.
Is that England or what?
yeah, it is. I mean, okay, noticed. He's walked in and died. Yeah, no buyback. This is going to be it, right?
I think they're gonna try, but meanwhile mid lane the Caudal is currently being massacred by a Pango.
Yeah, dead. It's a, I don't know, not popular, but it's a reasonably common thing where some of these old, like, repurposed mines, you go down on the old mine carts and the lift, the elevator to go deep down underground. A toss back from Squadix, sends Solo back in towards the Medusa, but you just look at that Ramsey's damage, slices into him. A double buyback from VP, looking to hold on to this game with everything they've got. The trouble is, it's not much. They've not got much to play with.
They're so endurable. Like, they have so much sustainability here. They got the Assault Cuirass, the Solar Crest, flicking in and out. How do you pick off anyone with your heroes as well?
I mean, Squadix, he'll pick off one. Ravage into Meteor Hammer's going to land in on top of them as well. Ramsey's spinning onto Notice. The Medusa getting a little bit of damage out. But Antares with his BKB. Oh, 9Pandas, they're on the run. They're all dropped pretty low. Stonegate's not going to connect, and now the trouble with lacking in stuns and disables. Squadix is there with the Avalanche toss. Gets a double kill. Picks off Miero, and Ramsey's falls as well. Ooh.
They have done it. Actually, a good defense.
Virtus.pro with a polar bear against the panda, showing who's the real apex predator.
Yeah, they can blink, toss in the Tide possibly here if he gets the Avalanche first. He blinks out. So they hold. I feel like 9Pandas just kind of wanted to try and end this game early and got a little bit undisciplined there. But it's a strong hold for VP. They managed to get a lot of resources from this, getting the kill on Ramses, 1500 gold, getting the kill over on Miero. That's like 1400 gold. Getting so rich. And they didn't lose their racks even.
Oh, like a 4K swing. Yeah, I mean, Ramses was like dropping items on the floor and swapping stuff in his inventory and things. He felt like this was completely out of the hands of VP.
On the Coddle.
Yeah, trying to get a pick off on Seush. Rolling Thunder. Trying to bounce back into him. Dodging away from some of those sideways swashbuckles, though. And quick on his feet, little ballerina keeper of the light, dancing around the Pango.
He also has that plate mill. Does a lot of work here against the swashbuckle procs to keep you alive. Meanwhile, top, TP out by Squadix, who goes into a tree line and high fives. Roshan is coming out to give one smack to Solo, and then he's gonna go back to his home and get absolutely attacked here by the Juggernaut.
Get back over here. Aegis for Ramses. And cheese potentially for that Pango. We'll see who it goes to. Maybe Miero grabs. It's just on the floor. No one's taken a Solo. That's a good captain. That's the position 5. Guys, there's a cheese on the floor.
Yeah, take it. Leave nothing behind.
Antares leaves a Lotus behind. Grabs up his
pass
great.
it over to Kiyotaka here. He backpacks his Orb of Corrosion. Happy to have a cheese. And Push is now going to come top instead. They needed to take this last tier 2 anyway. Wisdom Rune is about to spawn in a few seconds.
And they're just having a bit of a tasting menu here. Took tier 3 mid to half HP. Took the tier 3 bottom completely. Now back up to top. Going from side to side. Oh, Notice disappears. No longer exists on my screen. He does have buyback and Blink Ravage available. A toss back there, sending Ramses into the Medusa. Kiyotaka going to roll and cause a bit of havoc, though, as they finish off the ranged barracks up top. And Kiyotaka pretty safe just to get himself out of there now.
That's a Doom expended at least, and, you know, they did use a buyback there on Tide, but they didn't lose more than a range racks. They only have so many structures left. Any building hurts a lot to lose at this point.
It's just a matter of getting out of your base and getting on the map still feels pretty difficult for VP.
Yeah,
no vision out there. It's all complete darkness.
This Visage has so much minus armor. Got the armor corruption on the Visage and Familiars. He's got the Orb of Destruction. He's got the Solar Crest. He's got the Assault Cuirass. He just made the tower melt and made the heroes melt there, as Tidehunter got a little bit too close.
Yeah, you pair that up with his goddamn Juggernaut Omni Slash.
Yep. I think he's minus 16 armor from Visage alone.
Whew. That's some spicy stuff.
Yeah, and then Jug with only DPS build going Butterfly next, of course.
As you do.
Well, at least Medusa has identified, you know, what she needs this game. She went for Abscadi, has her Manta Style, of course, and going for Rapier next. It's probably a correct call. Like, you don't have time to farm your way back into this game. You need Rapier. You need the most powerful item you can get.
We need something to swing this. Tip the scales in your favor. Ramsey's back up on the high ground. Another ranged barracks. Not going to be able to take down the melee. Backdoor regen kicks in for a second there, but creep waves are arriving.
He does have Aegis still. He can siege.
There's a ranged creep wave mid that, I guess it was from top that they dragged mid that ignored the die creeps and ran back up top again. And Ramses, he's spinning on the Deucer. Disruption from Solo, create a couple of illusions. This is just the chipping and poking and prodding, which is so annoying for the Deucer to deal with.
Yeah, this is more than annoying. She's in danger if she stays there.
Yeah, the Rolling Thunder comes in, crashing on towards her. Notice, trying to be that barrier. Bulky boy standing in front of them as Kiritich gets off the Stone Gaze. Half HP, the mana's all gone. The Ravage is required. A clip onto Kiyotaka here, but he's still holding cheese. Doesn't even feel the need to use it right now as they've got that shard from the SD to cleanse. Purge up Kiyotaka's Pango, who stands and fights. They doom up Tiny. Chen will buy back, but at what cost here as Ramses goes for a bit of fountain diving. In we go with a massive damage out of this Juggernaut. They've killed off Tide and Kotl. And now it's all down to Deuce and Tiny. Some tossback plays. Get them in fountain. Anything you can to delay 9Pandas from finishing this game.
I don't think you can delay it by that much. They're going to keep going here straight towards top. They even gained mega creeps. They're like, okay, if you don't call it, we're going to just do it the disciplined way. Get every single building, and the call is going to come out any moment now.
Yeah, tier 4s. Nice glyphed up. I mean, VP know they are one victory away from securing that main stage spot. 9Pandas not going to be giving it to them, no, it looks like here. But in game 2, this Medusa hasn't stood a chance. GG called. Game 2 over. And 9Pandas tie things up 1 apiece as we head into game 3.
Yeah, game 3 is going to be, and I don't know, man. I think when 9Pandas got a better spot from a drafting perspective, then it works out way better for them. And VP, I have to say it again, man. This Chen Caudle thing, it's a little bit too passive from the support roles. If your overall laning stage doesn't go fantastic, then it can be very hard to come back when you have 2 supports there.
I kind of felt like, you know, Squadix was saying, hey, I can pop off again. I can carry us through that early game, break down the laning stage, get myself up to 24-2 once again. It very much was a lot of eggs in that Medusa basket. You know, Hand of Midas trying to scale later. Not working out for them.
That was such a nice play by Kiritaka, going forward when the Meteor Hammer channel came in there. Because a lot of Pangos would want to run away. Instead, he just doubled down, went forward. Medusa gets scared, starts running away. And that's when they just pounce, keep running them all down. That was the fight that really just tipped the scales of the entire game. After that, there was no fight that VP dominated. Apart from the one fight they pushed out bottom. But yeah, this is the fight that works out for them. But it's not really a fantastic fight. It's more that 9Pandas kind of just felt stronger than they were.
Yeah, like defender's advantage, double buybacks, you're fighting into Radiant base, fighting into Avalanche toss.
It's like they're so far ahead that they fell on their own, you know, their own sword, kind of. They just thought they were able to end the game right there.
Overzealous. Feeling far too powerful. Yeah, good solid victory from 9Pandas. Much more like what we expected from them in this series. Looking pretty solid with that Ramses Juggernaut. I think Chen now, he's been picked quite a lot, but I'm not sure about his win rate going forward. We've seen a couple of losses here today.
Maybe now it's not looking so good. At the start of today, it was looking very good, though. I think it was one of the stronger win rates. But yeah, it's just pairings and how you want to play it. I think the lane isn't weak that they ran, but the overall game, they didn't have that much to do with the Tiny. You know, we saw Squadix absolutely dominate before, but now who could he go with? The game just looked so difficult from his perspective even.
Yeah, it's real rough, but there we go. Tied up 1-1 in this best of 3, and one game separates one of these teams from getting that slot in the main event for the Riyadh Masters. We'll have a quick break and come back with the final match.
Open your eyes.
When you look into my eyes, tell me what do you see?
Tonight, I'm gonna show you the wonders of them all.
Hey, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
I need warriors.
So is this what you want in? You wanna war? Show me what's up then. Now we ready to bust in. Take everything. Leave 'em with nothing.
There is a place where you can elevate what's hidden inside, where you can reframe yourself. Sonomi means the new you. The you can step into. Because when we know who we really are, we become unstoppable. Enter new dimensions of you. Sonomi.
Here we go. It's the last game of the last series here. The play-in's coming to a conclusion. It's the last game for 9Pandas and VP to figure out who's going through to that main stage, group stage, and who's going home. I mean, it's been a close one so far.
Yeah, it's truly going to be the last game for one of these teams, but not for both. Someone will move on and carry the Eastern European torch here, you know, and we'll see who's it going to be. 9Pandas, they had a really impressive comeback, I want to say, after what was a very, very strong first game by VP. VP looked like they were actually just blowing them out of the water, but 9Pandas, solid draft, came back with some very methodical play, and I think VP, they were just holding on in last game as long as possible to try and prepare themselves for this third game, because they could have tapped out earlier. There was no actual way to come back at a certain point, but they didn't call it even as the throne was falling with like 2 heroes dead, no buyback. I think they were just talking about how do we solve game number 3, and I want to see what's going to be their approach here, because I think you got to go back to the draft again and just consider what do you get going for you, how do you set up good success on all lanes that you can actually transition and take over the mid game.
Yeah, and it's also like one of those things, like mentality-wise as well, right? If you've been training and boot camping and figuring out your play style and how you want to approach things, if you've kind of trained your team and your squad to go to the bitter end, to find any options, any solutions you possibly can, even in a super hardcore losing game, you want to keep that going. You don't just want to be like, rage quitting, tapping out 17 minutes in, saying, it's over. Give it that little, one extra shot, even if it's a 1% play.
Yeah, you don't want to give up at minute 8, that's for sure. No, you keep going. We'll see exactly what they bring to the table here in the next game. The Snapfire banned out in first phase by 9Pandas as they have the first pick. And VP, I think you got to ban out the Broodmother if you don't have first pick. Has Broodmother been banned in all our games? Or did we see one Brood game? It's been banned a lot for us. I think every single game banned, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't remember seeing Brood in our games at the Riyadh Masters. I think you're right, yeah.
I was just looking over to another stream and saw, Brood being played, and I thought, wait a minute. No, she's actually getting banned again here, first phase banned, and I'm all for it, man. The hero is extremely strong, and I think it's changing, the way you need to approach the game in a very annoying way. So they get rid of it on the side of VP. Good respect given over to that hero. It's not even respect towards specific teams, I want to say. It's just that hero is very strong. And Ramses, for instance, is the type of player who could take it and even play it as a carry. He is one of the strongest Brood players out there while being a carry player. So he would very happily snag that up as well.
They've played it mid as well. I think back at the Lima Major, they played it in the group stage mid for Kiyotaka once.
Kiyotaka also plays Brood? Oh god, yeah.
Got that option.
Ban it before it lays eggs, dude.
Burn it with fire. Yeah, it's one of those heroes that, like, no matter what you change or buff or nerf, just having free pathing on webs, just, it feels incredible.
Yeah, her laning stage is real strong right now as well, in a different way. I like it though, I must say. Final touch on Brute here. I do like that she doesn't have the summons immediately, and if you don't have AoE, you just lose. Now at least everyone loses. You know, it's not just if you have an AoE or not. It's just she outsustains you in lane.
Yeah. Well, Rubik going to join the Snap and the Brood.
5 seconds
And VP with that one final first phase ban. What did they get rid of in the previous series? Enigma? No, that was 9Pandas. It was Rubik Brood from them. Enigma Snap. In game 1.
Yeah, I can't remember what they banned in the previous game, but...
Clinks.
Oh yeah,
it was
the Clinks ban. Yes, that's why I can't remember. I was like, wait, which hero? But I don't know if they will ban out the Clinks in the first phase again, or do they really believe that it's gonna come out? The Antares Clinks. I don't know. I don't really see Clinks being that problematic of a hero to deal with, because his laning stage, while some people find that it's strong, I actually am completely of the other opinion. I think he's so weak in laning stage, absolutely abusable if you compare it to a lot of other lane winning supports. He does have a very strong... Yeah, he has a very strong transition where he gets level 6 and just starts running around and doing things. But until level 6, he's an awful lane support, in my opinion, to have whenever I play offlane. Find that the hero doesn't do much.
He's a hindrance.
Yeah, they ban out the Pango though, and Enigma is going to be left. You mentioned this hero is, obviously one of the first phase pick materials. We see it played pos 5, we see it played pos 3. Definitely very useful. So they leave the Undying.
Yeah, they do. The Undying TB. VP going to bring out the good old-fashioned Eastern European stuff.
Yeah.
Give Kiritich that Terror Blade, FNG Undying, so that's your safe lane. Pretty much locked, sorted.
It's a very, very annoying lane, because how do you shut down TB when you have an Undying in your face? Undying can basically 1v2 zone, and that just generates a lot of space for TB to get control. This lane didn't used to be that strong, and then Blood Grenade was added to the game, and that changed everything. Suddenly, Tombstone, Blood Grenade is almost always a kill in lane, and with a Reflection on top of that, you're basically standing still. So Undying's laning stage just became that much stronger. Wind Ranger picked up here by 9Pandas. Pretty early pick of the Wind Ranger, but could go on any position pretty much. It's very, very flexible.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back, and I'm not sure I saw Kiyotaka play much of it. I'm sure he can, but it was primarily a Ramses hero, so a reaction straight up to the 1v1 carry matchup?
Yeah, it's a good 1v1 carry matchup. Once you get Aghanims on Wind Ranger as well, you can hunt for the TB a bit. Focus Fire is a fantastic continuous damage source against TB to kill him. Even if he has BKB, even if he has Sunder available, you just keep shooting him, he will die eventually. But you could also throw this towards like offlane, just have Enigma plus Wind Ranger lane on the offlane. Or it could be Wind Ranger plus someone else. It's super flexible draft still, as Enigma can be a plus 5 as well, right? So hard to read how they want to lane this.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it again. Dire Enigma pos 5. That's the good shit right there. Farm that camp near your tier 1. Get your carry some additional XP. And solo, he's played it a fair number of times. I just like the Riyadh Masters in general. We had the Middle East North African qualifier where Team Secret Middle East Puppy played it like, I don't know, 6 out of the 8 games they played. Looked incredibly good. It's been banned out a fair amount. Solo's pretty solid on it.
Yeah, it's a nice, comfortable way to just get yourself some nice farm. You can back the lane by doing it as well. Keep denying creeps, you know.
So that's the thing, right? Now, you've been talking about how the side lanes have been getting greedier and greedier, and we're basically playing with 2 position 1s in the side lanes. Having Enigma as a pos 5 just removes a lot of that greed.
Yeah. Yeah, it counteracts the enemy greed, and it kind of facilitates your own by getting your pos 5 to be also able to clear creeps, since there's more creeps on the map, and you can use the Eidolons to push lanes and so on. So,
and Medallion!
Nice, yeah, ooh. I mean, Solar Crest Enigma is incredibly strong. That is also why the hero is good. Solar Crests is very, very powerful. I will say that when reading the patch notes initially, I completely underestimated how much stronger Solar Crest would be, because I looked at it first and was like, it lost its 100% uptime. That has to be a bad thing, but the strength of it now is just you can't fight into it. It's impossible.
Oh, Ember Spirit gone. I'm sad. We're We're not going to see Squadix on by leaps and bounds as his best hero.
He plays insanely well on Spirit heroes in general. He is extremely good at Ember. His Void Spirit is super solid. His Storm Spirit is also very good. He just plays these type of flashy playmaker mid heroes, which is also Tiny falls in the same category. He also plays good Queen and Puck, so those are always on the table as well. And honestly, that excites me. This is the type of mid laner that's fun to watch. Squadix is actually very, very entertaining to follow.
Yeah, even whacks out the good old Shadow Fiend and Snapfire, some of these fruitier picks from time to time. See what he gets up to this game. I don't know. I struggle to see him playing a third game of Tiny in a deciding match in a deciding series after stomping one then losing another. Kind of knocks the wind out of your sails a little bit.
Maybe, but they do need a lot of disables here. They don't have any disables from the Undying and Terrorblade, and Tiny does come with a 2-for-1 on the disable part, so it's pretty good. And they need something versus Enigma, and they need something against Windranger too. So I wouldn't be that surprised to see them just take it. But both the other times, it was a reaction to what the enemy picked mid. It was not a pick Tiny and then the enemy picked mid. No, he saw what he was pretty confident was their mid hero, and then he got his Tiny.
Yeah, right. His first phase Storm, he picked Tiny, fourth pick, and then it was the Pango. Then you're right, into the Tiny after.
Both times it was a counter pick into a favorable matchup. So he, or at least a matchup that he's confident with. Storm is not really a Tiny favored matchup, but it's also not a bad matchup.
Yeah. He's got the option here, a fourth pick.
I love the pickup here of the Skywrath. I think it's great. Partly, it could be a block pick against Antares, who really likes to play Sky as well. But also, it just works great against Enigma, great against Windranger, and it pairs up nicely here. You get some nice mix into your support.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes that's like good against TB. Like, please pick this guy so they don't have it.
Yeah, they take the Doom, so doubling down on the good disables here against Terrorblade. If this game goes late game, it could already look to be very annoying. Doom, Black Hole. But they added Pugna.
So, yeah, I was going to ask, where's Techie's been? Then I started thinking about Pugna. Where's Pugna been? These two heroes are like Antares specials that have been off the map for a while.
Well, Pugna has been away because his sucking got nerfed. He doesn't give mana nearly as well. They cut his mana giving in half, so the Storm Pugna combo completely died because of that. It's still playable, but it's nowhere as broken as it used to be. But this Pugna pick surprises me a lot. It's obviously not bad against Skywrath. The Netherward can destroy him, and Decrepify can protect people against Terrorblade, can kite them a little bit. But I did not expect to see a Pugna pick here.
That's an interesting one. Mars comes out, so we've got this Mars Skywrath Mage dual lane now. So that's going to be going up against potentially, well, probably the Windranger Enigma. A way to kill off some Eidolons. A lot of magic damage to pump into the Windranger as well.
Yeah, and more disable, notably, and teamfight control. So gives them pretty much what they needed here. I don't know if that lane is necessarily going to be good still. Sky Mars versus Enigma Wind. Sounds like Enigma Wind should still be able to come out on top there with a lot of, using pull camps and farming jungle and so on. And just by nature of being double range, Wind is a pretty strong laner too. And we're not going to have a 3-peat here. Tiny is removed. 9Pandas, they're saying, you know what, Squadix? Enough. Stop it.
No more nonsense. Get out of here. What are we left with for 9Pandas? Mid lane heroes for Kiyotaka, potentially? Well, it looks like Virtus.pro are thinking about this swap up of the Windranger mid and a different carry for Rousey's. I guess Naga against TB. Feels good to ban her out, get that out of the loop.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing about Wind. It can be played on the mid lane. You can do Wind support. Like their lineup is honestly one of the most flexible lineups I've ever seen right now on 9Pandas. There's so many heroes you can flex. We saw Doom flexed earlier to support today. We have seen Enigma played in many different roles. Windranger can go anywhere from carry to offlane to +4, +5 even. And Pugna as well could also theoretically be a core, but most likely a support here. So very tough call, but I think you just get rid of Naga whenever you play Terrorblade. And they're probably going to ban out the PL as well. I don't think you play against PL here. You have Undying, you have TB, you have Skywrath. All these heroes suck against PL. Yeah, just ban PL.
just get rid of it.
I don't know if they're debating whether they want to ban something else, but I think Peel is the ban here.
That's difficult. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they did it the other way around though. See, I mentioned last time how ban the Naga first, because if you pick TB, we all know you're gonna ban Naga, and now they did it. They're listening, Gareth. They know. They're listening.
Developing.
To me. Check their PC. They got the streams open. I can smell it.
It was Ramses in the first game. It was 9Pandas the TV that did it the first game.
All right, yeah.
So VP have seen it and listened and be like, we're not going to make the same mistakes as them.
That's true. Yeah, it's a minor detail, but I don't think there's any real difference ultimately.
Yeah.
It's just Naga is the more obvious one. Peel still also should go. What?
Ooh, who's he?
I haven't seen this hero in forever. Gareth,
Golden green.
what does he do?
He makes trillions.
Wow.
That's a Ramsey special. Third game of a best of 3. And then the Void Spirit to top it all off for Squadix.
Squadix, one of the best damn Void Spirits out there, in my opinion. He gets a hero that he definitely enjoys to play, but this is interesting. So we got Void Spirit versus Wind mid, which is not a bad matchup for Void Spirit. His damage is very good. Wind also has good damage, but being that long-range melee mid-hero Void Spirit does pretty well. But Ramses Nature's Prophet here, that is a curveball for sure. They do have great push. They have the trees, they have the Eidolons, they have the blasts from Pugna. They have pretty high tempo here against this Terrorblade matchup, so they don't need to take it ultra late. But even if it does go late, Doom and Black Hole are pretty big threats. 9Pandas, if it wasn't for Nature's Prophet being a garbage hero overall in the current patch, I would be all aboard. But I hope that they can prove me wrong that, Nature's Prophet can work even in this patch here.
Well, I've missed a trick on this one. They have played it a couple of times in the last month. 3 times at the Bali Major. They pulled out this Nature's Prophet. 2 wins and a loss. But yeah, this was something they were hammering, a day in, day out. This was bread and butter for Ramses and ex-Hellraisers for ages. Think back to like Arlington Major. He was just spamming Hand of Midas, Nature's Prophet every single bloody game. Okay, bringing it back here now.
But listen, Arlington Major, you know which ability was nerfed since then? Nature's Prophet Q. And also W, and also E, and also his R. So, only his 4 abilities got nerfed. But other than that...
Is his base attack time still the same? Is it still the buffed up numbers?
He still does have the 1.5, yeah. He's got the crazy BAT. But other than that, you're going to get so much going from auto attacks when you play this hero. So we'll see if you can pop that out, and if you can make a lot happen here, Ramses.
Well, I've got to look at these Prophet talents. I've forgotten what they all bloody do now. They used to have like Sprout misses and stuff like that. They still got a 20 with the Leash talent.
You have the Sprout misses and the Sprout Leash. You can pick whichever on the level 20, so you can choose there. But he has the Teleportation Stacks talent on level 15, which we'll see if he opts to go for. I still find them to be a little bit strange. Haven't seen too much gameplay of Furion with the teleport.
Teleportation overall, max stacks. What does that mean?
He gets stacks of armor and damage. It's we just don't see this man anymore. The cooldown nerf is so big, dude.
Oh my goodness.
It's 30-second cooldown now instead of 20, and it's 80 mana cost instead of 50.
After teleporting, Nature's Prophet gains stacks of bonus attack damage. Every attack consumes a stack of bonus damage to increase Nature's Prophet's armor.
Educational stream.
Hell yeah. Reading tooltips is fun.
Thank you for tuning in to the beginner stream. This is Waga and Koiko. We're here to bring you through it.
Hey, if I'm Koiko, who's your celebrity double?
I'm a Coldplay singer, apparently.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Martin.
On a really bad day. If he's like hungover or something, that's... Yeah.
Chris like Martin on meth.
Whoa. I'll take it, man. You're a millionaire. So it's fine. all good fun. Let's see how they play it out here. Last game, time to get serious. This is for elimination, so very much on the line here in the biggest tournament outside of TI.
Super important one. I want to get yourself to that main stage, that main group stage. Kiyotaka mid against Squadix, Wind Ranger versus Void Spirit. Super curious to see how this one goes, how we get these runes controlled, what kind of rotations we see. It's a pretty good active lineup from 9Pandas, being able to TP and maneuver around the map pretty quickly, and paired with some good team fight alongside the Doom and Enigma.
Yeah. I'm just keeping my eyes fixed on this mid lane because both these players want to push the limits as hard as they can here, and we'll see if either can get ahead a little bit. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, looks like we're going to see shenanigans as the Doom is already going away. Actually, he's just looking for a good creep first and get a Devour. He'll take the mana burn creep and get the mana regen aura. So 1.75, very nice. Enigma will be happy about that.
Yeah. Squad X just getting clicked every time he comes close to creep wave.
Yeah, this
Joys of melee into ranged.
This is very clean by Kiyotaka, the way he's harassing here. He's traded a lot of HP down as well, of course, taking a lot of attacks from the creeps. Squadix hasn't really touched Kiyotaka, but he's losing all his HP just to the creeps. Still controlling the lane.
Oh, what about these side lanes then? TV looks like 8 and 4. Nature's Prophet 7 and 3. Pretty close between the two position ones.
Yeah.
TB Undying against this Enigma Doom. So they're wave dragging back. They're pulling across. Undying. And does he struggle to stick on these guys when they're manipulating the creep wave so often?
Yeah, it's a little bit hard. So he takes his chance here because he comes close enough on Antares. They're going to use the combo we talked about during the drafts. The triple
blood grenade. Oh, but the turnaround from Miero. Gets the kill on TB and FNG. He's under a tower. Another blood grenade. The blood grenade. FNG. Haha. A 2-for-2 trade in that bottom lane. It all kicks off.
And top lane as well. Solo gets a little bit too close there, trying to be aggressive under the ward, but can get slowed up by the concussive and brought down. Interestingly, the Bulwark Mars managing to get this kill. Didn't kill Spirit Mars because he wants to deal with the annoying Treants here.
Yeah.
And Windrunner is gonna get the double hydration rune. She's gonna be super hydrated, and Squadix, he's just in a desert now. There's no water, no oasis.
No, it's just a mirage. Nothing there for him. Yeah, Bulwark Mars. I guess he's Treants plus double ranged heroes. That's quite a bit of value. Squadix still doing pretty well on the CS chart, even despite taking all this chip damage and harassment. Probably going to have to walk back to base after this wave, though.
Yeah, he's doing the best he can, but he does need to make one quick trip to base possibly here. He's buying tangles, so indicating that he doesn't want to do that. That puts him in a dangerous spot, though. Going up and contesting this creep wave is not easy. This bottom lane, we see things kind of stabilizing here, but you're not getting value for this Undying pick that much, I say. Obviously, he did get the double kill before, which was big, but he can't continuously bully the lane of Doom and Enigma. So he has to go for these big kills when he sees a chance. He bought 2 more blood grenades. He wants to go for it.
I mean, Squadix, he gets his tangos delivered and then Star Wars back and walking back to Fountain.
Oh no. Yeah, that's a sad time. Look at the manipulation on mid too. Kiyotaka pulled the creeps to the side. That puts the creeps under the tower. He's got to lose those creeps before he comes mid. So Sayu is here to pick up the experience of that. Nice little detail that sadly is going to put Squadix in an even worse spot as mid lane is pretty heavily going the way of the Windrunner for now.
Yeah, getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's a curious lane down bottom. It's Undying, trying to play the right side of the lane while Antares holds left. Then you've got to bypass all these Eidolons. Every time you go up for 1 decay, you're getting clicked down by all the little babies. TB, feeling it as well. Malefice into a couple of hits, always under pressure. Not a comfortable time.
It's getting destroyed right now by the mana burn. It's 86 mana burn when Antares uses his mana burn on this Undying. Just takes all the mana away. Absolutely zeroed out here. He uses a mango and immediately presses Q for the 100 mana. But this is tough, man. He's got a hard job trying to secure this lane.
Yeah, this wave is just coming further and further back. Miero's holding it right in front of the little pool of water there. Goes under his tier 1. So a solid time for 9Pandas down south. Up at top, noticed 17 and 6. Nature's Prophet 20 and 7. So Ramsey's free farming, all happy up there.
Always awkward to run away as Mars, trying to run away from being harassed. You turn around to block the attack, but then you turn around so you get attacked again. Then you turn around again. You keep taking more attacks.
They're doing pirouettes.
Yeah, you're not sure if it's actually efficient or not. Should you just keep running or should you turn?
Oh yeah, you never guess what Ramses has queued up.
A Midas.
Yep.
Yeah, he went for early power treads and then straight Midas. I mean, at least on Nature's Prophet, it makes a lot of sense.
Good TP from Miero, back to his tier 1. So he can still stick around and play in the lane.
Wisely TPs to the lane as well, not TPing all the way back. So Sticking around here. Solo is behind bottom lane as he realizes he can't really do too much top, and they want to get an early Nature's Prophet ulti. They want a tombstone.
I can kill a tombstone, hell yeah.
That's a successful gank right there.
Gank the buildings.
Another
TP's
gank
mid, because they have moved in onto the Wind Ranger, but they've healed her back up. Focus fire, the blood grenade, Squadix still level 5. The damage from Kiyotaka is substantial. Blood grenade just being chucked around by everyone.
no.
FNG, Antares, Solo, just spilling blood on the floor to get a double kill for Kiyotaka as both 9Panda supports rotate in.
And look at that rune too. Gets the DD rune on Wind Ranger now as well.
Oh.
That is spelling a pretty damn good start. If Squadix had a fantastic game earlier, Kiyotaka might just have the same thing here on his Wind Ranger.
He's trying with his catapult wave to trying to alleviate the pressure from himself by being aggressive on Miero. Can't really get the job done. Now trialing up top from VP. FNG's come up here with Sayush. Nature's Prophet. He's going to stick around and see the Undying come in. Well, that'll be the signal for Ramses to leave.
They don't really have the tools to lock him in place for Mars to get up there. And they kind of need level 6 Mars before they can kill the Nature's Prophet like that. Nature's Prophet, meanwhile, though, just going to back up, farm a little bit in jungle. He's happy. It's completely fine. The Wisdom Rune spawn, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 split. Antares gets one and Seiyu gets the other. Kiyotaka mid gets jumped.
Yeah, the first astral step with Squadix. Oh, the Remnant catches him. Supports rotate, and Squadix has baited Kiyotaka into his own death.
He was so aggressive there, going under tower with low HP already. Easy TP for Skywrath and punishes that. That was a very important takedown. In fact, they didn't get any value out of this DD rune now.
A pretty big swing. It felt like the flow of this game has been going 9Panda's way the first 8 minutes. Little victories here and there from VP, you know, thanks to FNG. His captaincy, his movements on the map, his Undying starting to bully people a little better.
Yeah, they're running at the Terrorblade, chasing him, blood grenading him. Just harassing. This is some annoying play, but actually maybe TPing over with Furin. He's coming.
Yeah, they will come down here. Hey, he's dead to Antares' Scorched Earth. Didn't even need the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
Mid lane, Squadix. He's gone back in with his 2 supports yet again, but a great shackle shot. That repositioning from Kiyotaka. Superb movement. Quick on his feet. They thought about the TP in from Prophet again as Solo moves aggressively, but they'll just close the book.
That was nice. And the rune control being, you know, very important in this game as well. So that's why you see the Pugna moving over there, taking that. I like the way that 9Pandas are playing the map right now. Using everything as much as they can. And that Fury and ulti already contributing to a kill. It's good stuff for them.
Gonna be a little afraid here. Yeah, exactly. As this TB, you're looking at a Doom and a Black Hole straight onto your Terrorblade. No fear to use those big ultis to kill him. They do come down with an Arena and a Tombstone, though, so at least looking to trade out for Antares and Miero. They'll lose their lives. Is that worth it, Waga? I'm not sure.
Not really, no. Definitely not. Double kill again for FNG.
Maybe now.
Kiyotaka?
Kiyotaka's joined in. He can't finish off the Skywrath.
Could be dangerous. If he gets caught by a spear in any way, then Void Spirit could get on him.
There it is. Astral Step, 1 and 2. Aether Remnant, not going to connect, but they've got enough magic damage.
Triple.
Yes, FNG with a killing spree.
He didn't get the triple kill. It took too long. That was a triple kill team fight for FNG, getting rich in this fight. It's not common
look
to
at
see
him
an
climbing the
Undying
ladder.
getting farmed.
Is it Shard Rush time again? He's got 1,000 gold saved.
You can buy something before Shard. It's still 5 minutes, or, you know, 5.5 minutes until Shard. It's got 1,100 gold. Notice, though, in trouble bottom again.
Oh, yeah. Caught out. Ramsey's getting involved finally, using his TP to actually join a fight before it ends.
This is what we're used to seeing from Nature's Prophets, right? Always these TPs to the enemy safe lane, early rotations, and kind of crushing down on the tower. So they're definitely playing the same style that we have seen before.
Yeah, so what's next on the Prophet after this Midas? Is it
Maelstrom.
still...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you just rush Maelstrom, maybe a Shadow Blade after that. You could go Maelstrom into like BKB or Manta. Get either of those. Get some Dispel. Get some way to deal with the Skywrath here as well.
Thanks for a few kind of interesting builds from this guy. You know, we had the like Assault Cuirass build, Daedalus Satanic. He really can scale up into a hardcore carry right clicker.
I mean, if he really wants to, he could even go for the Orchid build. He is playing against heroes that get punished by silence. If you're against Void Spirit and Void Spirit is nowhere close to having his Manta style, then it can be good.
That's a good shout. Wrath of Nature bouncing about. Virtus.pro going to bring their numbers up top. Squad X and the squad. Gonna try and push down this tier 1 with the metamorphosis out of TV. And Solo wants nothing to do with this. Tries to drag the wave as far as possible. There's no way he's stopping it.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a successful push, and Kyotic is going to get this tower, and with that, going to get himself his Midas for Terrorblade. I know where this game is going, dude. I'm calling it. I'm not a believer in the Midas Terrorblade.
Oh, so it's going in the bin. I think it's going late. We're going to go 60, 70 minutes?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is probably going to go late, possibly. If he's lucky, it's going to go late, but there's a Pugna, Enigma, and a Fury, and I think it could be a tempo game as well coming out from 9Pandas here. If this Wind Ranger gets going hard enough, then I don't know. It could be hard to defend high grounds.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, they could very quickly pick up the pace. Sayoshi's he's hit level 6 already. Looking for someone to play with. Mars, Void Spirit, both very good candidates to smoke up and play aggressively with that Mystic Flare. I'd love to see him get into the thick of things, get some action going. TB just going to inhabit this top part of the map, clear out some jungle camps, dip back into his own triangle and ancients, accelerate his farm. The key item timings start to come up after that Hand of Midas. And both teams kind of posturing around this mid-tier 1 area. Undying, gonna get doomed up. Antares charges straight in towards him. Shackle Shot won't latch really, but the Wrath of Nature. And he's given the vision there by the Doom.
That's a lot of hate for a little Undying. Just popping the Wrath of Nature, the power shots, the Shackle Shot, the Doom, you know. He gets brought down, but immediately a smoke out here, realizing that this could be a good timing to take a fight. So they go and play around this. Mars doesn't have Blink, but he has the little Pepper Hop. He has the Tumbler's Toy.
There we go. A hop a pop and a kill on the Doom. Didn't even need to expand the Mystic Flare.
Honestly, that neutral item feels so amazing on Mars. On a lot of initiation heroes, tiny Mars.
Yeah, it was like the talk of the town. Like the Arlington Major's like tiny Tumbler's Toy. He was the big boy just bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it gives you mana pool and gives you that initiation, it's very neat.
It's massive. On TB. 6k net worth. Nature's Prophet about 600 ahead of him. So Ramsey's still sitting pretty right at the top as Maelstrom is 300 gold away now. Yeah, it's just such a fearful spot to be in when you know that Doom and Black Hole are going to be coming back up. I guess they just used the Doom, but Black Hole is back up now. So this teamfight capability for 9Pandas is there. Pick off from Wind Ranger and Nature's Prophet is there. Being out on the map is kind of spooky.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, I feel like they're playing a pretty split game here of just farming. You know, the Enigma is not going for a Blink Rush or anything, just going Helm of Dominator, going straight Helm of Overlord. So he wants to farm Nature's Prophet, got his Midas Power Treads, and full Maelstrom completed. He wants to farm and Wind Ranger mid. Well, she also is not... it's not the same as playing, you know, a Squad X type hero who just non-stop fights. Wind is a little bit more greedy. She's going to join up for a smoke here, but in general, she'll be working more on items. That's the entire Rod of Aethys now, though, so she's well ahead of the Void Spirit.
That's a great way to catch on to Squad X as well. The smoke, they reveal the Wind Ranger with the root. Any chain stuns with the Shackle Shot and the Antares Doom trying to War Stomp and Infernal Blade, but Mystic Flare in the play. The turnaround is there. VP. They react with 5 heroes in that mid lane to defend Squad X.
That was a team effort, keeping him alive, dropping the Tombstone, coming in with Flesh Golem, dropping the very important Arena there. The Arena just absolutely saving the day. Also comes back to the same thing, like Wind Ranger not that good at like quickly getting in and out, bursting a hero. If that was a Tiny with a Blink, you know, it looks a bit different. But Wind Ranger is a bit greedier, a bit farmier.
Yeah. Well, they've got a Rod of Aethys themselves. Gareth Mage has picked his up.
Enigma.
Answer potentially to this attack of Wind Ranger. So Rod of Aethys onto the sky. Rod of Aethys back again. Bounces it across, but this time 9Pandas, they secure their man, kill the sky, and then the tier 1 to follow.
I like Miero hopping over the tree line there, the tree line that cuts on the lane, just using his own Tumbler's Toy. Very, very nice. And now he's not too far away, 1,000 gold away from having the Helm of the Overlord. Very, very nice timing for this Enigma here.
It's going to be a pretty big struggle to kill off this Ancient Creep when he starts pushing tier 2s. Could absolutely see 9Pandas go for this big 5-man death ball soon.
Kiyotaka was spotted going past the sentry towards top, so they're trying to punish him now. TPing in, they have sentries, and Rod of Aethys on Sky is really good.
I've caught out Solo. Pretty easy pick there onto the Pugna. Let's see if they can find the Wind Ranger on the left-hand side now. They're under dire vision.
Yeah, the fact that she sees them... Oh, the smoke is spotted as well. Smoke break by Antares. Gonna drop a ward. He's smoke breaking, but he's still in a dangerous spot. He's gonna be fine though.
Yeah, places a ward down, hides in the trees. Is Wind Ranger farming Ancients? What's she up to? Kiyotaka just lurking on the left.
Nah, he's just chilling. He was waiting for maybe a possible Terrorblade. Terrorblade still only has 900 HP, so he dies pretty fast.
I'll find FNG quite easily here. Oh, big damage from that Wrath of Nature. Clears out the Undying, while down at bottom lane, Notice drop the arena. Being chased by Miero.
Yeah.
TP down from Nature's Prophet. Thinking about it, Ramses. Considering his option here to play aggressively to the bottom jungle. This could be dangerous though, with Mystic Flare and a spear. The Black Hole onto the Mars. Nature's Prophet standing, still surviving. And there's a bit of heal for him as well. Up at top, the TB doomed and Shackle shotted. Oh, that nice Centaur Stomp will hold him in place to allow Kiyotaka to rip through the Terrorblade. One little hit after another. Come on, finish him off.
He tries to deny himself. That's why he waited.
Illusion.
Yeah, he didn't want to give the deny to the Illusion.
Oh, now Scottix has gone very aggressively here. He's got the backup of FNG with the Undying Tombstone. The Shackle shot from Kiyotaka holds him in place for a second, but Doom still dies.
Losing Doom, Arcane Rune on the Void Spirit, very nice for coming in for this gank, but at the same time, you lost your Terrorblade, and you also lost your Mars bottom, so right now VP are bleeding important kills on the side lanes, and overall, still farming a lot is the side of 9Panda here.
Very solo, very forward. Pops his Pavis, but he's in no man's land down here.
He's just
Turns
a
into
pig.
a piggy.
Don't kill him!
Little piggy. Down he goes. In the meantime, Kiyotaka trying to play with Squadix. Not really a game that FNG and Squadix are wanting to be involved in right now.
Kiyotaka is gonna go for Gleipnir build, of course, on Wind Ranger, and Furion is close to... Nope, never mind, scratch that. Used ulti, has the entire BKB. He is absolutely monstrous. 11,000 net worth. This is what we're used to seeing, the Furions with the absurd net worth numbers. And that's gonna be a straight Roche.
Yes, that's pretty nutty stuff. I'm trying to think back where it was like 6 months ago, the pro player saying, yeah, you know, 20 minutes in, 13k net worth, 14k net worth, that's like prime time, that's what you're aiming for. Yep. Ramsey is like looking to outstrip this. Yeah,
he might actually. Just means he's having a good game on top of it. But yeah, usually Nature's Prophets, they get really farmed, and he didn't really get ganked this game. He's been pretty free. Focus has been elsewhere.
He's looking for the James Bond scoreline.
2 more.
2 more assists, all he wants.
Oh,
Squadix is eyeing up Antares. Yeah, Rod of Atos into the Mystic Flare. Scarth Mage sets it all up. Seosh with a good move forward there.
Wind has ages. She wants to hunt this. I think she wants to fight. Not gonna go in? Okay. Thinks better of it.
Well, they might just loop in around solo here. There's a bit of vision all around that top jungle. Double Radiant Observer wards, 1 Dire that Antares placed a little earlier on. Notice coming back in towards mid. They've seen Solo on his migration mission swinging across through that mid lane.
He's just running. He's a fast little boy. Very hard to catch this Pugna, especially when he uses Pig Pole as well. 450 movement speed.
A speedy skeleton.
They're going to have double Gleipnir power spike, by the way, on 9Pandas. It's a big power spike to talk about because you have these heroes that require some mobility. Mars wants to get in there and use his arena. You have Void Spirit, who obviously doesn't want to get locked down. And if the Gleipnir start hitting before Void Spirit has Manta, it can become disastrous for him. He's just not going to be able to move around the way he wants. And it looks like it's already going to be tough. Like Wind has her entire Gleipnir completed, and Furion, we know how fast he farms.
Yeah. Even as like a defensive tool, like Kiritich, this is big. He gets out the Manta stall, Sprout's there, focus fire in. He's lost all of his mana, his HP is gone. I think he got doomed up in the end as well, just to make sure he's out of this game.
Yeah, the Shackle didn't connect despite the Sprouts. It didn't really have an angle for the Shackle, so they just said better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Burst out the Doom because you don't want him to use a Sunder there.
Yeah, even Gleipnir's is like a defensive or kiting tool, right? You know how important this Metamorphosis is. If you can just hold the TB back, delay the fight for 10, 15 seconds, reset.
Yeah, definitely. It's even AoE magic damage, right? Both in the active and the passive of the Maelstrom itself. So TB's illusions, his Manta style, they can struggle. And it's going to take a while before TB is really fight ready. Again, coming back to, he went Midas first. It does slow down your early timings. Yes, the Midas, Manta style, but his Eye of Skadi is very far away, does not have a Dragonlance. So We'll see. We'll see how his first join on team fights will go.
I mean, until that point, would you like to see this Mars Scarith Mage maybe chain smoke a few more times? Oh, wait, hang on a second. Kiyotaka has a DD rune. Squad X up to the high ground. The Wind Ranger's still chasing. He jumps to the right. No way he's escaped from that. They can't see the Void Spirit.
The Courier will see him. The Courier will see him.
Sayosh with the Mystic Flare. The Courier over the top sees the Void Spirit. They killed off Sayosh, and the Gleipnir is there from the Wind Ranger. Just a couple of hits, but he's got an Astral Step and a bit to play with. No! What?
Dude, if the Courier didn't come in that exact line, it was right over him. Didn't even micro the Courier to scout there. It was just sending out an item. Unfortunate.
Blind luck.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a TP. I don't know if he had TP cooldown still from his previous usage, but if he had TP ready and just didn't have one in the inventory, then that is a very sad way to die.
Yeah, would you like to see this Mars and Sky, I don't know, smoke up, be a bit more active, or are you just waiting for this TB?
They're trying, but they also want BKB on Mars, and now it's going to be delayed even more as he gets caught out here. He had 400 gold to go. Never mind that. Now you have 600 gold to go, and you're also dead.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to say that he should be more aggressive when he's that close to BKB. I think he needs it at the same time. You just don't have any activity on the map right now. You're not doing anything because Void Spirit got handled on mid lane. Look at the net worth. Void Spirit is 4th from the bottom. He is absolutely out of this game right now. Antares has overtaken him, and Antares isn't even that farmed for a +4 doom. He's got some items, sure, but he's not ridiculously farmed.
God, careful with those tormentors, boys. FNG and Sayrus dropping very low as Kiyotaka comes back in. This mid lane battle between Void Spirit and Wind Ranger, not a fair one when Doom and Nature's Prophet are brought into the mix.
I'm telling you, man, these Gleipnirs, it's unplayable. I actually think the game might already be getting close to decided here because Void Spirit can't show, and the BKB is still delayed on notice. How do you even show on the map now when all these ganks are happening? 9Pandas are playing beautifully. They're controlling the field. They have great wards.
Like the Doom has a BKB. The Enigma has Blink. Helm of the Overlord. They're pushing high ground, chipping away at tier 3.
And Shard. Don't forget the Shard. He bought that too to get the extra stun duration and get the extra Eidolons.
Let's smoke out from VP. What, 4 heroes, no Void Spirit. Kiyotaka. He's waiting. Smoke breaks. Sees the TB, but he's... Oh, dodges the spear. Kiyotaka, you're right. Aegis has gone. Mystic Flare dropped down, but Kiyotaka, he's dead. Kiyotaka might fall here, but it looks like 9Pandas going to sweep the rest of Virtus.pro. Ramsey struggling to battle through the arena walls, but he's going to pick up a double kill. Look for the Void Spirit. Kill them all off. Antares picks up 2. The Tombstone's the cherry on top, and my VP looking real rough for them now.
I find it so funny that you called it before the series started. That VP, they usually win the first game in these matchups, but then they lose the next 2. And then we have, I mean, it's funny to say, but it's sad for VP as they're struggling hard here. This is starting to look all but over. A 16,000 net worth lead, 24 minutes in, and 9Pandas are just playing beautiful Dota already. They got all the tools they need. The itemizations are on point. Their wards are perfect. And what can you do? He's been at the same net worth now on Mars for the last 6 minutes or something, right away from BKB completing.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has a backpacked bracer. I feel like you almost sell something here to try and get this BKB, because if you had it, at least you would have some item, you know?
FNG is not even being allowed to de-ward. Solo is decrepping him, full stamping away. Come back here, you little green skelly bastard. Come on, Rod of Atos, Ether Remnant. They'll kill off Solo eventually. Pesky devil.
That was the most positive thing. Oh my god, do you see how much gold they got for killing Solo? Ooh, 900 gold for killing Solo. And then they got the Courier too. So that was a 1400 gold for the Courier and him. That's a lot of money.
It's massive. Well, hello. Can I catch him? Oh, they caught the Scarith Mage. They caught him for sure. I wasn't certain whose Gleipnir that was. It's the Nature's Prophets onto the Void Spirit. If it was the Wind Ranger with the Chakra Shot follow-up, Squadek's probably dead there.
Yeah. It's so dangerous to show even for a split second at this point. Showing on the lanes is just definitely leading to danger. By the way, I didn't really call it, but he did go for teleportation max stacks. So if you want to play some carry Nature's Prophet, you know, this is the certified approved build by the one player who's brave enough to play it in this patch, I feel. don't know, maybe there's another team that's also onto this. I haven't really watched all the games, but definitely not common.
Yeah, definitely a Ramsey special. I've not seen Nature's Prophet in several months. But yeah, I guess the leash talent against the Void Spirit makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. For some reason, I thought he would have gone the missed chance against the TB.
Yeah, you could do that, but TB can also quite easily reposition sometimes. He has a Quelling Blade still in his inventory against the Sprout, and he has Manta Style to get out, so... it's just a safer one, you know? You get a Sprout on Void Spirit, and that's just guaranteeing death right now, so that's pretty powerful. There's absolutely nothing you can do. If you Sprout him, he is dead. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it's Prophet. What do you know? Oh, Squadix?
Squadix was just toying with death a bit there, going aggressive on mid. Might find yourself getting TP'd on behind, but I think they're playing a little bit chill right now on the side of 9Pandas because they know Roche is about to spawn soon. And they don't want to throw this game. This is a very, very decisive game. Tournament life at stake here.
Now 1 minute till Roche. Nature's Prophet. AC. 2,000 gold saved up.
Look at this smoke reveal positioning by Kiyotaka. He's just sitting here. He's not really just looking for a pick-off. He's also just preventing moves.
I can even just go in for a kill. The shackle shot. Latches on the Mars behind. I think he was intending to catch the TB, but he blinks over the arena. Miero's in, thinking about the black hole, but doesn't even bloody need it. They've slain everybody, not spilling a drop of blood, and 9Pandas just a step closer to securing victory and securing their spot at the Riyadh Masters.
Yeah, he waved his hands around a little bit on Enigma, and honestly, Miero had the most chill game of any player in this game.
There it is.
Yeah,
black hole for Squadix.
I think they know it. They know that it's been done. Some voice chats coming out for the team here. 9Pandas feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, looks like Sage has gone AFK.
He's baiting. He's 4-staff baiting. He's 4-staff baiting.
Okay.
He's like, go on me, go on me. See? Little mini steps here. Go.
Stuttering forward. I mean, Mars was microing his courier, trying to do something while he's dead. 7 seconds for Mars, 20 for the Void Spirit. They'll have 4 heroes alive before their throne falls. I think tier 4s are crumbling, but 9Pandas not going too hard on this. Just disciplined, stepping back, going to tier 2. Noticed has TP'd up here, and he's scanned out as well. Like you said, Roshan, he's on the docket. Top left corner of the map, he's set up there.
Yeah, they're not messing around. 9Pandas are taking this very seriously. They want to win, and they respect VP enough that they're not going to throw against them in a tournament live game like this. So they're backing out, saying, you come to us, take the fight that we know you can force you. Look at Entara's positioning,
nice.
Smoke breaks, blinks out. It's so clean, man. These guys are playing really good Dota this game.
And Furion tipping up top to hold hands with Solo. Let's see what they do next, because they're not in the pit. They're not in the vicinity. They are eyeing up the Terrorblade. Good man to dodge, but the Doom is out, and the Terrorblade completely isolated. Oh man, it's just so perfect, isn't it? They break the smoke, they move back, hold the right-hand side, hugging that tree line. They see the TB alone. They know the VP have all swung to Roche.
Yeah, and VP, they want to fight this somehow. They buy back and try and do it. TB's bottom and gonna portal top. TB is en route.
Let's see if he can deliver himself into a proper team fight up here. Miero has already spent his BKB. Good shackle shot there on the Mars. Noticed BKB and Bulwark up. Nature's Prophet sprouting himself. Trying to hold back against this TB, but the Infernal Blade and the Wall Stomp doing some sick work. Antares just keeping them at bay. Solo not even going to die to the Mystic Flare, and Kiritach's Terrorblade Sunder. It's bought him a bit of time, but Kiyotaka's on his tail. Chasing forward, looking for Sayosh instead, in fact, wanting the easier target as 9Pandas. They might lose their Wind Ranger here, but it's going to secure them the game. The GGs are called, VP tap out, and they know their Eastern European rivals in 9Pandas are just too damn strong.
Yeah, 9Pandas are going to be the ones claiming this one with a beautiful Game 3 performance here. VP, they put the first game, they absolutely dominated. It was one of the performances of the tournament so far from Squadix. His game was absolutely flawless there. But Game 2 and Game 3, 9Pandas just feel like they got their number, you know. They adapt correctly. They change a little bit things here and there. Fix their grab.
Mystic Flare onto... Oh, this was the courier, right? Flies over the top of Squadix, spots him.
I was just unlucky. nothing more than unlucky, but game was already tough then. And look at the damage. TB just disappears.
Kiyotaka just fearless in this game. Had a good lane, transitioned out of it nicely with his item timings.
It was the Furin ulti that came in at the end there. He couldn't get a Sunder out. Furin ulti and some right clicks from Wind. That's why TB got bursted there.
There's so many answers. Like, how many times we had these fights where Nature's Prophet wanted a TP, but he was too late because everyone was dead already. Enigma wanted a black hole, but it was too late. Everyone's dead already.
Yeah. Honestly, Miro, I don't want to say that he did something wrong, but he didn't really do much to this game, you know? Like, he mostly just chilled on Enigma, and the game kind of played itself.
Yeah. He's a passenger.
In a luxury cruise ship that is 9Pandas in this game, they absolutely just did whatever they wanted.
Yeah. Upgraded from Economy Plus straight up to first class.
Oh, feels good.
Right into the Riyadh Masters. Beautiful stuff. 9Pandas, they take the series, they take the win, the deciding match here, as we close out the play-ins for the Riyadh Masters. Wondrous stuff from the Eastern European squad. Yes, always a little sad when two teams from the same region meet in a decisive elimination match, but yeah, someone's got to win, someone's got to go home, sadly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they put on a good performance here. They didn't go out, you know, just completely misplaying or completely missing the draft. I think they had a good idea. I think they did really well. But 9Pandas, they're a strong team and ultimately have always been a hard team for VP, I feel, in this rival matchup.
Yeah, I think we've got some highlights coming up as well. We've got plays of the day, saves of the day, all sorts of good stuff, and we can take a peek at. Here's the play of the day, presented by Abdul Latif Jamil Motors. As we see here, the Beast Coast up against TSM series, which we had the pleasure of casting earlier on today.
Yeah, this game was where Tomato actually just went crazy on his Slark, got so damn strong. This is his building up to his rampage here, you know, spoilers, but this Slark gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, and here he could maybe have kept running here on Chen, but he thought that there was going to be one more pounce. In fact, it was on cooldown, so maybe you could have kept running up the high ground at first, but that wouldn't have led to this, getting the ultra kill.
Yeah, now the Colonel's Choice, of course, presented by KFC. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, that Slark, yeah, he had a quiet game until he popped off with that rampage. And here we've got Beast Coast going up against Quest. Noob on his tiny, godlike, and dominating, and picking up a beautiful number of kills.
Yeah, another really strong Tiny performance here, I see. So Tiny has been absolutely owning, and Omar enjoying his Rubik as well.
Right.
He's been shining on.
He absolutely has. And the save of the day by our favourite, Dr. Suleiman Al-Habib, as the nice relocate jump out, saving the Underlord. We had plenty of them.
Stun. There was 2 epic saves of the day in one clip there. Absolutely amazing, actually. Yeah. That was clutch. I actually thought he was going to go down like, oh, Storm commits, he got him. And then that split earth on time. Nice reaction time by Brow. But yeah, we had some interesting stuff happen today, Gareth. I hope tomorrow will be just as exciting.
Yeah, they bloody well better be. You know, this was the amuse bouche. This was the entree towards the main meal, right? This was the play-ins heading into that main stage. We've got group stage and then playoffs to come. Pretty long, extended format to get plenty of games packed in here with all these top teams for a top-tier tournament and prize pool as well. But yeah, that rounds out day 2 of the Riyadh Masters. Make sure, of course, you're checking out all the streams. There's been like 6 simultaneous streams, tons of games. Go back and watch the VODs, and of course, make sure you tune in tomorrow as well, as we'll be kicking off with plenty of group stage action. But for today, Margaret, that's it for us. We'll see you all tomorrow.